back here this morning, but big move to the downside, even with the beat top and bottom line. It comes down to China. We sat here for the past couple of days, couple of weeks even, talking a little bit about the simple fact that, the forecast is going to be probably better than expected because everyone's spending on AI. When it came down to it, big question mark around China, though.
They realized no revenue in Q2. They don't anticipate. Okay. We still don't anticipate of having any revenue, Brendo, in Q3. I'm talking about China-specific revenue. So, yeah, it comes down to the Chinese regulator. I don't think this is a Donald Trump-made issue. I think this is specifically a China, hey, do not buy these chips. They may be compromised type of issue. So let's see how this ends up getting navigated. We know that they're in trade discussions. Yeah. You have to assume that this is part of the trade discussions. Yeah.
100%. And maybe even being used as a bit of a bargaining chip going back and forth here. Meanwhile, nice pop here. We're already back above that 50% retracement mark here for Nvidia shares in the pre-market. We get all the way down to 175, dragging down not only tech in general, but semiconductors specifically, guys, for Nvidia. But looking okay here to start things off. Could be a lot worse.
Good morning. GDP, month over month, little beat there. And the jobless claims number, a little bit, it's a little bit lower. That's good enough. We'll take it.
Yep,
and
the market spike.
Nvidia was like 1 cent away from going green, I think literally 1 penny. Or maybe it did go, I think it went green by a cent or two, actually, there. So there's a lot to go over when it comes to the report. And we'll try to dig into everything, everybody. And ultimately, they nitpicked a couple of things, whether it was the margins, whether it was the data center. And then Jensen was like, hey, man, if we get to sell in China, it's game over, man. And it wasn't just him, CFO saying the same thing as well and reiterating. And they didn't even count those sales. So I think it looks pretty good here for Nvidia. It looks good for the market, that GDP number and the labor number or jobless claims number looking pretty solid as well. This is what we want to see. Snowflake was doing amazing. That was double digits to the upside you saw. Thank you, everyone, for tuning in the aftermarket show. The only disappointment was CrowdStrike. And even then, I don't even know how bad that was. But it's NVIDIA's world. We're all just living in it as they continue to print the billions and billions. Apologies for the sound issue, but we got the good numbers out. And looks like the market, Nasdaq just went green, and NVIDIA's trying to do it too.
Yeah, NVIDIA huge. I think there's this news here about potentially selling some more of these chips into China, so we'll have to watch out for that. Thank you for your patience with the audio as we work through some of these things. Wires getting chewed on over here. 182 there, yeah, I think NVIDIA did get going. It was a better jobless claims than expected, so it was a little lighter. It was 229 versus 231, so you might have not heard. Brendan was sort of, you may have not have heard, you did not hear. Brendan was running through these numbers right there. So the core PCE comes in as expected, and it was the initial jobless claims right there, 229 versus 231. So little lighter, but I don't know if that's, that is what kind of spiked this. Look at the volume pickup right there in the market. But yeah, it's NVIDIA, it's CrowdStrike, it's Snowflake. Today, Snowflake getting back up to that 230 mark. Wow, yeah, it looks like it might take out that 230 mark, now up 14, 15%. CrowdStrike, you had a great opportunity to buy some of those dips as they're purchasing a company, I think, right? And so they get that downswing there, similar to what Palo Alto did when they were buying CyberArk. So, but that's rebounded so nicely, man. I was hoping that CrowdStrike could have gotten down here and we were able to buy some more there. And I know Neil trimmed a little bit of this and we're all in the bank stocks, but yesterday, wow, XLF. Right there, all-time highs. There you go, Joe, for you. All-time highs right now in the XLF. Many names, right? BAC, we haven't seen this name up here in a very, very long time. Now north of $50 for Bank of America. What a run some of these bank names have been on. And they're just quietly like the little silent assassins. Like, this is just 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, blah, blah, blah. It's just straight up right now for these bank names. And it's not as, it's not as, I'm going to use the word sexy because it kind of crawls its way up. It's not a 4 or 5% mover every day like we see at CoreWeave or some of these other names that tend to move. But for right now, man, it's Bank of America, it's Citigroup, Neil. It's all of the names going through. Yo, what's up, Phil Crone? He's saying pew, pew, pew.
Pew. Where's that button?
I don't know where that button is. The pews have been retired here for a couple years, but it's good, man. It's a good day today. I think think BABA and China names should be going upside here at some point as we get this all figured out. It's down 2% today. We'll talk about the China news, but we'll have to wait to see what Alibaba is doing. This is on my radar today as well. So it's all good right now. CoreWeave actually also broke
CoreWeave
through.
was a good sympathy move for CoreWeave, but also that the headline you're referring to is NVIDIA negotiating with the U.S. government to sell Blackwell to China. That's according to Fox News at least. So, yeah, that should be. Look, you heard it all over the call, and you'll probably hear it a lot in the next coming days. Just how much potential there is for growth. I mean, 50% growth in China is what Jensen is saying. And they get back access to that market. Their guidance didn't even include sales to China. They didn't sell any last quarter. CoreWeave 7%. So you knew this was going to be an obvious sympathy play to NVIDIA, and it is absolutely flying. This one could be, see this 104 here. Nice consolidated bottom. Seems like CoreWeave has made the lows. And there's only one way to go now. 7% to the upside on CoreWeave and still going.
Yeah,
rising tide lifting a lot of ships here. This is probably the one moving the most so far this pre-market that I've seen that's not some kind of small capper.
I mean, I wrote down CoreWeave here when it broke through $100. Yeah, now it's like, now it's gone. This is what, remember I was just saying about the bank stocks, they don't move 4% in a day. Like CoreWeave just moved 4% in 30 minutes. So there we go to the upside. Yeah, man, I like your comment in there. I like your comment, Christian. Just buy Palantir. Yeah, I mean, I think that's right. We'll see what winds up happening here with Palantir today. Only up 0.24, but again, beating the market. What's the Nasdaq? Is that green yet? Zeros on the Nasdaq right there. But yeah, I only wanted to highlight the bank stocks because there's been so much talk about tech names, and we trade pretty much all tech names here. So I just wanted to have a quick look at some of the banks and let you guys know that this story does not end. And JP Morgan, we're still waiting for our 303. Hopefully we can get that today. Right now breaking above $300 as well. I mean, look at JP Morgan. I mean, look at this. This is just steady climb. And I was actually looking, the Canadian bank that I own is Bank of Nova Scotia, and a lot of these Canadian banks are also just rips. Like, look at this move on BNS. You want to talk about a report? Look, this was yesterday. They reported earnings. Blackout, as they say, right there to the upside as you get some black eyes shorting this one. Huge move up to $62 right there. And again, it's just like the same truth happens. It's for a lot of banks. Like they come into some nice support levels and the money comes in and buys them up, and then you get some surprise beats and whatnot. But there goes Bank of Nova Scotia. I mean, just another one there. TD Bank, Royal Bank, all these Canadian ones continue.
What's the only thing going well for us, though?
What's what happened?
It's one of the only things going well for us.
In Canada?
Well, I was talking to Sharif about this. We have some youth unemployment numbers, which are not doing too well here at all.
Oh, we have a crazy amount of youth running around. I mean, well, that's the whole problem is we're out of control. And
getting degrees that may or may not be all that valuable.
Well, it's just that it's potentially, not to get too political here, but there might be too many people for not enough jobs. And we let in, and this is true of a lot of Europe as well. There's just a lot of immigration that's happened that the jobs just couldn't really support it. We're going to be seeing that also in the housing market and things like that. And it's great that we can get this many people coming through, but it is definitely affecting. And I didn't even know that youth unemployment issue there. But yeah, my son is doing his Bronze Cross. He's almost completed all of his swimming stuff, so he's going to be employed as a lifeguard coming up very soon. Nice. So yeah, that should be fun for him. So I'm excited for that. WBA news,
the deal's closed.
Gone. Yeah, so I saw someone say that
it's done.
Yeah, Walgreens is halted, so it's gone. It's been bought out, so you will not be able to trade Walgreens anymore. I do not believe so, unless something happens, but I would say this is done. So grayed out in our system means you're not able to trade it. So if you still do have Walgreens shares, it's normally T+3 or T+2 on these. So you'll get your money at whatever the agreed upon deal was. Plus you said there was a special rider on there. So yeah, so you'll get all that into your account probably by Monday. So but here we go. Fox Business Reporter is reporting all these things about. Okay, Jensen Huang is in talks with, so Jensen's in talks with the administrations about Blackwell. So looks like that's gonna happen And there we go. Nvidia going Greensville
They're
right
willing
now.
to give a cut.
It's that whole hold, don't trade. Like you just need to, or hold, don't trade. Yeah, own. Yeah,
Same.
because it's down to 170s, up to 180s. That's $10 there if you're able to buy the bottom. But that's a tough trade to do. That's a tough trade. You never really want to buy something on earnings like that. But anyways, nice move back up. I mean, the conference call kicks it now. We're hearing good China news right here. NVIDIA about to go green, and its friend over here as well, AMD. If NVIDIA can sell chips to China,
AMD can too.
guess what? I mean, it's floodgates open for many of these names. And tonight we have my guy coming through tonight. We've got Marvell, Big Joe. We're excited for some Marvell tonight, up 2%. We'll see if that can get going as well. How many Cybertrucks do I own? 4 or 5. You know, the shout out to Mr. Rookie Man. Yeah, a couple of different wraps we got in there. Depends what day it is. You know what we're doing, what color we want to roll with, right there. But yeah, so just a few Cybertrucks.
Yeah.
Okay, Joe. Upgrades, downgrades. Fill us in.
Well, Snowflake probably.
Good morning, everyone, and happy Thursday. All right, let's take a look at what we have on the upgrades and the downgrades list. Starting it off, we have Five Below getting that price target raised to $170 by Telsey Advisory Group. And then Green Plains also getting the nod by Oppenheimer with that target raised to $14. And then Venture Global also getting that price target upgraded to 17 by Deutsche Bank, and then Wynn Resorts also getting the upgrade to $14. Now on the downside, we have Bill Holdings lowering that price target to $50, and then Cooper Companies as well getting that downgrade to $72, and then Nutanix by Needham, price target lowered to $80. Now Novavax by H.C. Wainwright, price target downgraded to $10, guys.
Novavax is up on the day, by the way.
You have to understand the way he's throwing his voice. Like when he's whispering there at the end, it's like, Novavax, you know, little bit of a thing there.
I don't know about Novavax.
Joe, we like that. Thank you for the upgrades and downgrades. I'm going to say shout out to everybody and all the degenerates out there, because look at Wynn. There it goes, man. This is a name. Shout out to Nelson, my good friend. We talked about this. This was years and years ago, and it's not like it's gone up that much, but this was $50 or $60 when I met Nelson there in Miami, and he was asking me if there was any plays that I sort of liked, and I did. Well, obviously, we talked about many different stocks, but one of the big ones was Wynn at that time, and it's now finally starting to break out. Look, you want to talk about stocks breaking out. I mean, look how good this level was right here at $100, $110, and then boom, there goes a dynamite right there to the upside. So there goes Wynn. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Now it gets upgraded. I mean, this is starting, not starting, has already had these rocket ships underneath it, and it just goes to the point again of, you know, you don't need to have all your chips in one bag here. And I mean, it's been a great bag with NVIDIA and with some of these other names, but here you go again, just trying to diversify. I probably own 30 plus stocks. Wynn is going to be one of them. So we're happy to see this upgrade and happy to see it starting to go to the high side. As a percentage though, we're talking small amounts here compared to some of the tech names, but there it goes. And Bitcoin also 13.2 right now.
We'll take it.
Yeah, we'll take it.
Five Below though, beat top bottom, raised guidance. The stock is a triple from the April lows. Triple up. It ain't Five Below.
Is it Robinhood?
Absolutely chilling. It's crazy. There's so many of these names that are out there that got beat so badly in April, and some of them doing a heck of a lot better than others. Five Below. Unfortunately, the volumes are really not that great for a day trade because it's kind of like a classical breakout extension trade here. But Five looking very good. They got an upgrade as well. And of course, I think there might have been a typo on that price target for Wynn because it's in the triple digits, obviously.
What did it say? What was it?
I think it's at 14.
Oh, 140.
They probably meant 140 is my guess.
Well, they didn't mean 1400.
Well, it probably didn't mean 1400.
And it probably didn't mean 14.
Although if you were betting on that, it'd be a heck of a long shot.
Yeah, 10.
Yeah, no, I'm sure that meant $140, which makes a heck of a lot of sense.
170.
170? Oh, it's 170. 170, even bigger. So like a lot of breakouts here. It's not just the chip space. It's not just the overall market. There's lots of segments in there.
There we go.
Good look for Five. Good look for Wynn as well. So like I said, we have a lot to cover here today. At some point, we'll talk about something that isn't looking as good, which is Open Door. But for now,
is Open Door not doing so good? Yeah,
little bounce.
Little bounce.
But after yesterday it was wasn't too good for open doors.
Yeah, and here it is right here. So PMAC as well. Where is he? PMAC. I just saw you. Is it TMAC or PMAC? Where's PMAC? Anyway, it's saying that he added $50 during COVID as well. And you got out at oh, there it is right here. You got out at 99. So great call on that one. I've been trying to get out of some there. Oh, there's Nelson. Hey, what's up, Nelson? Here's my guy. Yo, Nelson, how's it going? Hope your family is doing well as well. There it is right there. He did talk about a little bit of win. And I know Nelson also was looking at some Rivian. And I remember when Rivian went to 16 or 17, we had discussed that as well. I believe Nelson likes Rivian. Nelson, let me know what else in the chat, if there's anything else that you like right now as well. You're a great investor. So if there's anything that you have on your radar, let me know. Maybe some Snowflake. I don't know, Palantir. I wish I would have pushed Palantir on you a little bit more then as well. But okay, so shout out to Nelson and all of our good friends there in the chat. We'd love to get back to Miami, Nelson, if you want to party there.
It's always a good party
yeah,
there.
if you want to do that again. All right, so here we go, man. Sticky Notes getting ready to go out here. I'm actually have a long on the TQs. I really think the Nasdaq goes today. Great news out of Nvidia, honestly, as it continues to move higher here in the pre-market.
All right, let's recap here for lots of people just joining and coming in. If anyone missed this at 8:30, here we go again. 3.3% on the second estimate there, GDP for Q2 versus 3%, so beating expectations. Jobless claims downside 229 versus 237. I mean, it depends on where you look. There's 235 floating around as well. 1.95 continuing claims versus 1.97 was the forecast there. So expecting a bit of an uptick. Comes in exactly the opposite direction. Quarter over quarter Q2 PCE. Remember, that's not the big one that we get on the monthly basis. 2%, so a downside tick there versus 2.1% overall. The market liking not only those numbers, but this move in Nvidia that came on the back of these comments. Again, if you missed it, talking with the U.S. government on Blackwell sales into China and potentially what that would cost them going forward on an Intel-type stake deal. It's worth noting here, AMD already positive and then some, a little bit better than the rest right now.
These job numbers, especially the continuing claims and the initial jobless claims, Brendo, they're going to throw, I don't know how much they throw a wrench into the analysis that analysts have been putting in with respect to the rate cuts that were expected next month because, well, one thing that we heard from Jerome Powell at Jackson Hole was that, you know, the job market was showing some signs of, I don't want to say weakness, but definitely not where it was during COVID. So does that change the calculus for them at all? So we'll have to wait and see. The inflation picture, obviously we get more data before the next FOMC meeting, but so it should be interesting to see these interest rates.
Yeah, it's definitely semiconductors that are trying to get back higher right now. Tesla is also trying to get back higher right now. Just went green, in fact, trying to hold positive versus where we went out yesterday. A couple of days in a row here. Not bad. Holding higher levels around that 350 area. More bad data, though.
Exactly.
Yeah.
40 some odd percent. I guess we'll get to one on the rundown. Sales declining in Europe. And it's not just one jurisdiction, Breno, and it's not just because EV sales are going down. No, EV sales are up, but somebody else is benefiting from that. I'm sure you guys can guess who. BYD out of China growing like triple digits, both in the United Kingdom and in Europe, which are, you know, looked at separately. So it should be really interesting to see how Tesla weathers this storm. We definitely need more information, Elon, about that cheaper model, which he's supposed to have in scale by the second half of this year. Yeah. If you listen to the call last time around, Brendo, he said they're already producing it. Nobody's dropped pictures, and we know people constantly fly drones over Tesla fabs and gigafactories to try to see what's going on, and nobody's leaked anything.
Yeah, absolutely nothing. It's been very, very quiet. Going back to that call as well, he also mentioned that strap in, it could get rough here for the next couple of quarters. More data supporting that, guys, out of Europe.
Yeah, it's at the point now where we haven't really been getting any great news out of Tesla. So that kind of is what it is. And for everyone wondering, that company BYD is, like, their growth is spectacular. China's getting it done when it comes to EVs. And, you know, if they're able to, they've already got a good foothold in Europe, which they continue to expand. And if that ever came to the U.S., it's just, there wouldn't be any way they could compete. Like Tesla's like the only ones making any money, and they can't even seem to compete. The shift has been, hey, let's not pay too much attention to some of the decline and the fact that we haven't really revamped our model run. It's getting a little bit old and stale, some people would say. And the shift is, hey, let's talk about Optimus. Let's talk about autonomous driving. Like that's the big focus for Tesla. I think that's where everyone is going, and that's why it's allowing this stock really to be breaking out here. If we're being real, like it broke the wedge, and we've been strong since. And really, yesterday, I know yesterday it was down, but it's still a pretty consolidative situation. It is like it didn't break the low. Held on to 344. I know it lost that 350 area, and yeah, in my note, I'm like, it's a fade up here at that close into 353. Like that's a fade area until we can break it out. But you're still consolidating higher after breaking what was like this little compression wedge in Tesla. So overall, on like maybe like a higher time frame, it does still look pretty productive, despite the fact we're not really getting any good news. But we weren't getting any good news after earnings, and it's up from then too. So sometimes you just have to play the price action when it comes to Tesla and be patient, because this is a forward-looking stock that we might have to wait a minute for this one to have the news that takes it back into those highs. But if you do believe in Optimus and if you do believe in autonomous driving, then you know this is a $500 company at some point. Ooh, that is
Those are peaches.
First of all, those are not either. Neither.
This guy's too much.
I could throw like a change up with that, you know, like throw a splitter. Well, the slider's not about the grip. The slider's about
the number of fingers.
These are like these are nectarines.
The funny thing about pitchers is they always think you're supposed to do this. It's not. When you throw a pitch, all you're doing is you're turning your wrist a little bit, and then you're throwing it normally. You want like a stiff wrist because you're going to pronate anyways. So like a curve, you just do that, and then you pronate. But like you're not doing anything to your wrist because you throw, you're doing that regardless. So you actually want the stiff wrist. So slider there.
Closer together when you did that too.
Usually, so not everybody does. Some people want to have it. Some people will throw a curve this way too. It's just a matter of feel. And then there's different change ups you can do. Anyways, I love baseball. Always.
Thanks for that.
It is a big. Yeah, whatever. I thought we were gonna get the plums. I thought I saw plums.
Yeah. All right. I wanted to say about, so I have Tesla written down here. It's one of the top trades on the sticky note, but I'm just producing. Go have a look at it. Look at NIO. I mean, again, it's one thing to say, yay, China. It's another thing to be in the trade. I mean, look at this stock, man. I mean, these bottoms, again, $3 to $4. You know, if you believed in it, if you believe in this China story, then you're long NIO. And there it goes. So it's a nice move. We're going to wait to see if we can get up to the 750 area. I think it's a huge, I don't want to say a huge sell, but I'm going to say it anyways. Right into here, this 750 area. So I would say, like, if you've taken this, I know, Nelson, you have this. If you took this from here, look, sure, the upside is huge. But this is a level where you may want to take something out. And then I was thinking then if you can break through there, basically $9.50, $10, then you can take the trade again and maybe grab that to 14 or 15 again, right into this area. So I think your first level of resistance is going to be right around here, 750, looking to take something out, and you're getting pretty close to that, up another 3% there today. And then, you let your next sort of 2/3 or whatever your strategies are and your tranches, how many you're getting out, where you're getting out. But like right into there, it's like on JP Morgan, now that we're at these highs, I'm finally going to start to take something out. And I don't think that this gets back to these highs yet, but better numbers, better sales into China, a better relationship between the US and the Chinese government. Maybe some NEOs start onboarding here in the United States and Canada, and we can get more sales here with this name. So yeah, I really like NIO, up 3% again, and there it goes. Watch out for that 750 level. NIO, I like the stock.
CoreWeave back to the downside here a little bit, not seeing anything new, but just a heads up if anyone is keeping an eye on that. I mean, there's so many different angles. There's going to be a couple of bond auctions coming up later today, so it's worth watching yields. I mean, they're still kind of chopping around where we left off at the end of last week and at the end of coming off, I mean, essentially Jackson Hole. They haven't really rebounded since then, but overall the market paying close attention here, I think, going into not only the next CPI, we'll get non-farm payrolls coming up here in a week or so. I mean, a lot on the economic macro side to come as well.
Absolutely, and what I'll be keeping my eye on is one that we seldomly talk about, the 30-year. It's barely below 5%, 4.9 and change, but that's the one that really is sticky. And you don't really expect that one to drop until the United States government gets their fiscal house in order, because they're paying over $1 trillion a year in just interest payments on the debt. And that's why Donald Trump has been pounding the table, harassing Jerome Powell and the Fed to lower the rates, because he wants to get those payments down. And I don't think you're going to see the 30-year drop until you get the fiscal house in order, Brendo. So I'd be interested to see how aggressively, number one, they're able to kind of shore up the deficit. You and I are talking about that off camera. Number two, how quickly tariffs, the revenue from the tariffs help offset that.
Short end of the curve, not buying it yet. However, the 3% argument, that is, here's the 10-year right now, 4.23 today. So as I mentioned, this was the big move down. And then we're still kind of bouncing around here around this 4.2 area. If we get to a point where, you know, the Fed funds rate is 3.5, 3.25, which is what the market is pricing in by the end of next year.
Yeah.
You know, these have to move at some point.
Oh, goodness.
And we're still not seeing that.
And you're seeing in the Russell, too. We're back almost at 2,400 points on the Russell, that double top from back in COVID. And then earlier, or no, I don't want to say earlier this year, late last year, right after the election, 2,400 has been a resistance level. But we are working our way right up into those areas and expect, you know, a nice little boom, possibly through all-time highs if the interest rate environment becomes quite favorable for these small caps specifically. Brent.
Yeah, here it is. Here's the IWM anyways on a daily chart. Just, yeah, straight to the upside here. I mean, we touched on it a bit, guys, going back to the beginning of the week with Michael Noss on the rotation idea. A lot of that clearly already taking place here into smaller names.
Yeah, like the Russell was already going. Look, first of all, the move on the Jackson Hole was obviously spectacular, but you got a little bit of a continuation yesterday on the IWM. Like, it had only pulled back since Jackson Hole. Yesterday is when it sort of re-engaged and broke out that, we'll call it the Jackson Hole high. Why not? So, like, to me, you already started this in yesterday's trade, and now the run to that high is just a pure continuation play. So, look, rates are coming down. We know this. Whether we get to, look, at what point do we actually get to? You know, 3.5. Who knows? We know for sure. I shouldn't say we know for sure. We know to an 85% marker that we're going to get at least one, and then we'll go from there. But the IWM, this was a nice consolidation break. It probably had to pull back. That move was so big on Jackson Hole because of the change in tone that you did need time to consolidate and have it settle down a little bit. But now you're back in a breakout phase. So you're going to see some small cappers going, no question. The mid caps as well. But this one, I think it's just trend to the high. Unless some kind of news can change this, but I don't see what's gonna in the next 2 weeks really change the tone here for the Fed. It's hard to imagine that there's anything out there that is gonna dissuade from that new policy stance, and that just means IWM trend higher.
And we do have right here. We do have the Fed rate watch tool, still 85%. So there it is right there, 85%. Yeah, December is still probably the same, 38% or something down there. Yeah, 36% that we get 3 rate cuts, 50% chance of 2 rate cuts by December. So yeah, we're doing it. But there it is. It looks like it's going to be pretty clear that on September the 17th, which is now 4 weeks away, a little bit under that, we will get a rate cut, and it'll be 85%. And unless something dramatically changes, I just didn't know if jobless claims, a little lighter than expected, might have changed those odds, but it doesn't appear to be doing that. And then there it goes, man. Nvidia, green. Right now, off of, you know, people last night were like, nah, no. It was green 2 seconds ago when we had to 182. Last night, you didn't think that was going to be possible, but there it is. It just turns green. We got like one little look above right there, 181.94. Looks like that was about, yeah, there it is right there, 181.94. Perfect. That was the high and just turned us green, and now we come all the way back in. So, yeah, I was also thinking AMD could catch a little bit of a drive here, which it's doing, so it's not falling back in. AMD breaking out as well through some of these levels right now. So there it is right here. Watch out for this, breaking 170, 169.50 upside here for advanced micro devices. Sticky notes now out. You can go find it, soon to be on Instagram, now on Twitter, X, and we're going to go back over to the desk. We do have our watch list to go over. Lots of different names on there, obviously a lot of big earnings plays, as well as we had CoreWeave on there as an upgrade. We've got Dick's Sporting Goods. And Dick's Sporting Goods, wow. All these stores that my family just absolutely loves. Elf Cosmetics, they love. They love Ulta Beauty as a store. We love Dick's Sporting Goods. And if this chart is, I'm like, oh my gosh, right here. How high can we go? We're going to see if we can get a little bit higher. But from this 170 marker, I'm only saying that because when we traveled there, into Boston, I was really impressed with it, and that was, of course, back in early July there, and there's the bump up for Dick's Sporting Goods. So we'll have to wait to see. It's down 3.
Foot Locker too.
Yeah, exactly, and that was the other thing. They bought the Foot Locker deal in there, so I don't know if I like that as much, but we'll see about Dick's Sporting Goods.
I think they got a discount, so.
All right, lots to talk about here. Robinhood, SoFi, banks. We talked about bank stocks being at all-time highs right now as well. Lots to go over. All right, it's watch list time. Get the link in the description. We're going to go over some names right now.
64.95, guys. That's where we closed out yesterday on the ES September contract. So we're just knocking on the door of that 6,500 point area. In fact, the overnight high breach is at 65.06. So here's the deal. We're going to continue we're at 64.99 right now. So we're basically at 6,500. Let's see how the open goes. If we clear that 6,500 point area and we're looking like we're going to trend higher on the back of some of these earnings names, we'll use 6,500 as support. If we fail for whatever reason, we're looking at that 75 point area again, Brendo. 64.75 as support.
If you haven't done so yet, make sure you take a sec, jump down to the description of this video. Top link there will get you to the sign up page for the watch list. Absolutely free every single day. Comes right to your inbox as all you need to know before the market opens daily, including Nvidia this morning, rightfully so, top of the watch list here, as Sean was just mentioning, dipped its toe into positive territory there ever so quick, but just holding below it right now. Wedbush, surprising no one, reiterating outperform on Nvidia with a 210 price target. I mean, for the most part, analysts very positive on this. End of the day, it comes down to China.
Exactly, as well they should be. This was a fantastic report, saving except for one thing, as you mentioned, China. So let's get to it. Adjusted EPS of 105, beating the 101 expected on revenue of 46.74, beating the 46.06 expected, topping estimates on the top and bottom line, and net income, their profitability surged 59% year over year. Their take-home money, guys, just a little shy of $26.5 billion, up from 16.5, so almost a $10 billion year over year increase on profitability. And they're guiding strong Q3 revenue of $54 billion, plus or minus 2%, well ahead of the consensus of 53.1. The guidance, though, excludes anything to do with China because it's still very much a variable at the moment. This is where kind of we missed. Their data center revenue, which is a euphemism for AI, obviously, rose 56% year over year, printing $41.1 billion, but missed the estimates again. 41.34 was what we were expecting. A lot of that has to do with China. Their compute GPU came in at $33.8 billion, down 1% sequentially due to $4 billion in fewer H20 sales. Again, China rearing its head. Networking revenue, $7.3 billion, nearly doubled year over year, Brendo. And Blackwell chip sales, 17% year over year. Sorry, quarter over quarter. That's how quickly they're growing. Now let's talk about the H20 uncertainty. They recorded a $4.5 billion write-down, as we know, because they couldn't sell any of these H20s, even though they had the go-ahead from the Commerce Department and the Trump administration. Jensen Huang secured a U.S. license to ship H20s to China after meeting with President Trump, and he said $180 million of these H20 chips, Brendo, were sold outside of China, so they found customers outside of the desired area. Their gaming revenue up 49% year over year, up to $4.3 billion. Robotics, which is one that I'm keeping my eye on, still very small compared to the others, about half a billion dollars, but he's looking at that.
Yeah, and he leaned on that pretty heavily, saying that's the next area for accelerated growth. So growth, but maybe people expecting a little bit better, guys.
Oh, they always expect a lot of Nvidia, but don't forget, this morning we also hear talk that they are in discussions to sell Blackwell to China with the U.S. government. So that's another positive. I think in addition to some of the positive numbers we got overall with the economy, and of course Nvidia's save data centers, save a little bit of the margin concern. That's the big deal because there's a lot of money on the table, left on the table this last quarter, not selling any chips to China. And forget about the H20. If they're able to sell Blackwell, that could be even bigger. And if they're willing to maybe kick in a little bit, it was supposed to be the 15%. We don't know what this could end up being. These negotiations, which apparently are just going on now, it's better than nothing, right? Which they did not make anything. They didn't sell any H20s in China. So if that number, if we see in the next couple of quarters, they get back in there, Jensen himself said it's 50% growth he sees. It's the biggest market. You got to be able to get in there. And when they're back, it's going to be great. Now, there's a couple of things. Well, that 184, like obviously it's still resistance. There's a decent chance we can get in there today. But I feel like at the open, this prior support, 178.5, buying back into that is the place to go on Nvidia. Just preach a little bit of patience. We ran for several, like I said, we had a positive story or speculation and negotiations going on with Nvidia, and then the market kind of running here going green on some jobless numbers that came in decently in GDP. So I want to come back in to this area. As long as we're above, I want to hold long. If we break the pre-market low, forget about it, at least until it gets down into the low 70 range. So that's the area I'm looking for on Nvidia. We'll see if we get there at the open. Might have to pivot. Sometimes it doesn't give you the shot, and you got to pivot to like the volume weighted average price, but not yet.
Look, we wrote down here on Nvidia right now, the only area to buy is going to be 178. So we're going to wait for a dip buy there, opportunity into 178. And we're going to have a poll coming up when we get a second here. Will Nvidia be green or red at the close today? I just want to see what people are generally thinking here, because it just made a run right there. And this is going to be well talked about. So let's get some participation from you guys out there and let us know you think green or red. We'll get that poll up in just a couple seconds. Thanks for the suggestion there in the chat. Look, I'm just using 178 right there because it's been the pre-market lows. So if 178 comes in, I'm not sitting there buying it. I'm just going to wait to see what winds up happening. We'll have Nvidia on our watch. Look, 4 years ago, I mean, we can always talk about the current quarter, but 4 years ago, these guys were doing $15 to $20 billion of revenue per year. Now we're at $150 billion. So you're 10x in 4 years. Can you get 10x in 4 years from now? The answer to that is going to be no. So the growth that we've had in Nvidia in the stock has been absolutely huge. Do we think that we can replicate that? I do not think they can replicate that. Even if they do get the Chinese numbers, right, that growth rate is just so astronomical. I don't think we can expect to get the same kind of earnings bump. I mean, yesterday we were right here on the show. I think Joe wanted to bet about this. I said Nvidia was going under their 6% move. It basically is like the lowest move of the whole week right here, opening up down 0.36. So, we kind of thought that these numbers are going to be very accurate, and they were. We didn't get too much talk about anything unique in this. We are going to wait, as Sharif mentioned. Let's see what winds up happening with these Chinese numbers, but they don't move the dial. I am interested, again, as the boys were talking about, the robotics side of things. What's the next sort of tail, or the next tail that wags the dog? No, that's the wrong way. But where's their next sort of segment coming from? I still love the stock. I want to buy all of the dips in this name, but to expect the whole huge, amazing run, the days of, oh my God, Nvidia's up 20% off earnings, those days are done. It's too covered. It's too well watched. This stock is, I'm just going to give you things other than, just the numbers. We already went over those with Sharif and Neil there. This is 8% or higher of the S&P 500. This is in 670 ETFs. So, it takes a lot to move this either direction, and they're kind of doing it right now. It's 14 million shares. We had a nice little bump up right there. Let's see what winds up happening at open. This is all smoke and mirrors right now. It's pre-market. No real money has come in to trade this thing. So this could be way lower, man. This could be 178. Could not even come close to holding. This could tank off the open, or we could, I don't think it rips off the open. I think it's more likely to do this move, and then you wait and you get patient. And I mean, look, yesterday, I know there wasn't, and I heard, I think Joe had a good one there with IBIT, but there wasn't too many huge trades or anything there yesterday. But we had this move right there on Nvidia, and we had to wait for this. This was 952. Hey, look, Nvidia down 0.34. I think that's what it's down right now. But there's the move right there. 182.50 open yesterday when all this is just on no news. Went all the way from 182.50 down to 179. That's $3, right? In earnings day 0. So now we have earnings day 1. We can see if we can get a very similar move potentially back in, and then we wait and we strike when the iron is hot. So I say shout out to all the traders out there. Let's have some fun today. We'll be trading some Nvidia, and the poll went up, but I don't know.
Got to redo it. Wasn't worded properly.
It should just be very, very simple. Will Nvidia be green or red at close?
No, the problem was that part was right.
Oh, okay.
It's just that it asked then yes or no instead of.
Okay. So yeah, the option just be green or red. Yeah. So we'll get that up there. Thanks for doing that, Andre. And I think that it'll be all good. So I see the note there from you. So okay, 9/11 right now. Crowd misses. That's not a crowded trade, but it's going to be one where I wish I would have been sitting here with my fingers on the buy side because it had a dip and it recovered. Let's go get the story from the guys.
Oh, $400 on that dip, but we're back above this morning, which is a key level if you zoom out here a little bit. Same thing comes down to guidance here missing for CrowdStrike.
Yeah, the guide was light, and people are still worried about the outage and the litigation that's ensuing from that outage with Delta. Let's talk about how they did, Brendo. They beat on the top and bottom line with Q2 adjusted EPS coming in at 93 pennies, beating the 83 expected by the street on revenue of $1.17 billion, which rose 21% year over year. That's slightly above the 1.15 expected as a street, but we sold off as investors focused on the muted guidance and the lingering IT outage from the from the summer of 2024. Let's talk about their different growth metrics. They did okay here. Annual recurring revenue ARR climbed 20% year over year, up to $4.66 billion. New ARR reached $221 million, also surpassing estimates. Analysts remain cautious, lowering the estimates for the future ARR growth as customers may demand pricing discounts. Brendo, now people are asking for discounts. The guidance here, not bad, but it is one of the reasons we're selling off. Their guided revenue in the range of 1.208 to 1.218 billion, in line, but slightly lower than 1.228 expected by the street. The earnings outlook raised concerns as management cited ongoing business disruptions and potential contract renewals impacted by the IT outage. Last but not least here, the litigation from Delta Airlines tied to the outage continues to be an overhang, so we'll keep an eye out on that. And the competitive landscape, it's a threat detection, cybersecurity platform, Brendo. They're trying to do this platformization strategy that PanW is doing by having all the endpoints, emails, gateways, apps, firewalls all in one area.
I just checked PanW positive to start the day. I was just double checking as well here. Not a lot of volume on this so far today, but not a lot of volume is actually 2.8 on the relative side of things at this point this morning, guys.
It doesn't usually do a ton of volume in the pre-market, so it's still pretty decent. Look, ultimately, Crowd, it was triple digit plus forward PE going into this, so it'll still, I believe, should still be triple digits. It didn't really fall all that much, so it's still a little bit pricey. So when you miss the guide, that ends up being the bigger deal. There was an acquisition that they announced, but it was actually pretty small. It was like $300 million, or just slightly under that was the size of the private company that they were picking up. So that you can't blame that for weighing on it. I never want a stock to go down, but candidly would have been nice. I think if it had gotten into the 360, that would have been like an auto buy. We were joking around, like if it Fortinets, then that's going to be an easy buy on day two. I always believe in the 3-day rule, but it's almost like what would have to happen for this not to hold the earnings low at this point, right? Like it's pretty much already convinced you that it's done it by filling in half of the gap here on CrowdStrike. So the low, like buying off of 390 doesn't seem very likely. It's a no trade for me today because of that, because I think the real opportunity would have been to catch a double bottom on this thing or to get an SSR bounce. If it goes green at this point, there'll be better fish to fry, I think, for the long side of the trade on CrowdStrike. Sometimes it hangs down there, and then you're able to get it on day two with a double bottom. But in this particular case, it just gapped right back up.
Okay, so for me, here's what you're looking for like a big flush like this that happened in Palo Alto, and then you buy some of those dips like we did there, and I just don't think CrowdStrike is dipping enough. CRWD is really dipping enough to take advantage of it. I mean, it's been in a pretty big downturn. It doesn't seem like they fixed whatever the problem is here in the stock, and I don't really know what the problem is, but I am not buying this name for sure. until I'm not buying it at all, actually. So I was going to say, but I would wait until at least this 50 period starts to not look like a roller coaster turning downside here and just starting to get going. So I don't. I should actually sell this name. I bought some, and only one time there, and I always ask Adara for it, but now I know when it was, is in July, right there of 2024. This is when we bought this name, and we didn't do anything about it the whole way up. And silly me, because I should have been looking at this a little bit more carefully. Instead of buying Palo Alto on dips, I should have been selling this on rips. But again, you know, I like the space. I don't necessarily want to get out of it. But yeah, this is hurting right now, and I don't like this one bit. So for me, I would take the advantage of it only being down 4% and actually sell this name here today. I think, you know, you get any sort of a love. I think I'm going to put an offer around this 440 area. If we can just slip out of CrowdStrike, I'd be happy to do that. We're not going to get to 440 or anything today, but if we get a couple good days here on a bounce back, I think I'd like to sell this name. That's all. It's just it's not like the rest there, in my opinion. It doesn't. It's not having the reaction that Palo Alto did. Fortinet's obviously to the downside as well, and then Zscaler, ZS is Zscaler, I believe. Yes. So we can have a quick look at this one. As again, sometimes you rotate out of the different technologies, and like boom, downside again. Like everything is getting hit here in the space. Palo Alto's not necessarily looking that much better. It's just I'd rather buy best of breed, like I'm always saying. So, anyways, yeah, I'm not in Zscaler. What a huge, epic ride right there. But we always take for granted like this huge move up, and then you look back and you're like, well, it's down 30%. So yeah, I mean, sometimes you gotta think about taking something out when you're near the tops. And I think the cybersecurity names are just a perfect example of that. It's getting cold around here. It's not quite snowy like yet, but you know, something that could help ease some of this weather are longs in Snowflake.
It's usually after the long weekend, but for some reason this year it feels like fall. No kidding. Here, just real quick, Oppenheimer with a note on Broadcom saying, why not Broadcom if not Nvidia today? So yeah, Broadcom up nicely here so far this morning, 303. Just took out day highs here, doing better than the rest anyways. But yeah, let's talk about Snowflake. Snowflake coming off a little bit from where we were pre-market, but huge move after the close yesterday.
By the way, Sunday and Monday looking good. Brendo back up to seasonal 25, 26. So pumped for that. Let's talk about Snowflake. They reported $1.14 billion in revenue, up 31, almost 32% year over year on the quarter. EPS coming in at 35 pennies versus the 18 expected by the street. So an easy beat on the top and bottom line there. And their EPS actually grew, guys, almost 100% year over year, 94.4%, easily beating. Here are some key metrics. Their RPO, not run pass options for all the football fans out there. The remaining performance obligations, about $6.9 billion versus the $6.84 expected by the street. Modest beat there. Their large customers actually over $1 million with $1 million in spending grew to 654 versus the 634 expected. And they did well on everything. Non-GAAP product gross profit and professional services all really beating except one metric here, the GAAP professional services gross loss. That missed here, 15.03 versus the 13.38 estimate there, so slightly worse.
Just be aware, Bloomberg reporting the Lisa Cook lawsuit has officially landed here, being filed this morning against the Trump administration, guys.
Do it.
Well, we knew this was coming, right? I mean, you're going to go down. You're going to go down fighting.
I wonder if she's going to bill the U.S. government for her legal fees.
At the end of the day. Well, I mean, if you win, I suppose that's how it works. The lawyers always manage to get paid by one or the other. But Snowflake, I guess we're not breaking 230. I guess, I don't know, it looks like we're not going to break 230, at least off of the open. Snowflake pulling it back in here. And this is what happens when it's a big run. It beat the expected move, which was 11.5%, pretty significantly, but now we're back down to the 12. So we might have to wait for this breakout at $230 here on Snowflake. It's already starting to fill in the gaps. So unless you got some people like to use Fibonacci's and all that other good stuff out there, Fibonacci's, as said. But 220, hey, where did they hold in the aftermarket? When I say they, it's 230. When it initially pushed up, where did it stabilize before making a new high when we got the guidance number? It was at the 220 level, sorry, not 230. So if we get down into there, that's a place I'd look for some kind of a reversion, as now we're under VWAP. no breakout, I think, here on Snowflake over the 230 level. It seems like it's headed toward it. It's got the growth, no questions asked. It just might not be today. This is exactly the kind of name that you want to pay attention to for day 2 and day 3 in the event that we don't actually get through 230 here today. But yeah, like Snowflake, I mean, I swung it once, got in, got out of it. But I think, look, I think to see it break out 230, because if it's not, then you're probably waiting to the 50 period to buy again. So, got to see that 230 break.
Yeah, I didn't. We've made a lot of money on Snowflake, but I thought that the risk was to the downside. Obviously, the upside is huge right there today, up 12%. So just with its earnings as expected. So I'm a little nervous about this today, just because look what the Nasdaq's doing. We're taking out days high right now, and Snowflake's off $4, $5. So we'll see about Snowflake. I don't. Again, didn't do too much work on this one. The spread is probably fine to get here and day trade this, but for me, just so much else happening, including Tesla and CoreWeave. So let's go find out about them.
All right, we'll continue along here. I was just hearing the market taking out day highs, but not quite. We're almost there. 575 for Nasdaq. Maybe it was the S&P 500. Yeah, let's go on to Tesla. If you were with us in the first 30 minutes, we touched on it briefly, but European sales to the downside once again. However, here we go. Tesla almost at session highs as well.
It's like the market's already digested the fact that they're not doing well in Europe. But let's tell you anyway how poorly they're doing. Their new car registrations, Randy, fell 40% year over year. They're only selling about 8,800. He's laughing. 8,837 units, marking the automaker's 7th consecutive month of declines. The drop came despite the overall battery electric car sales increasing in Europe. And the challenges include brand damage, obviously linked to Elon Musk's rhetoric and his ties to the Trump administration. Plus, there is that aging product lineup with no major refresh in quite some time now. We're talking about, for the Model S and X. Randy's given his 2 cents there. But it's the Chinese EV makers, guys. BYD saw 13,503 new registrations in Europe just in July, Brendo. That's a 225% annual increase. They're expanding aggressively in all of Europe with showrooms and competitively priced models. Chinese brands overall reached a record 5% market share in the first half of 2025. And investors, they're waiting. They're waiting for that affordable EV with volume production possibly coming in the second half of this year.
If people could only see our view right now.
Yeah.
It's
we're right
for the first time ever. For the first time ever, I can see actually right outside. Further on that note, here is this is on Xpeng over in China as well. New $30,000 Tesla Model 3 rival, 10,000 orders, Randy, in 7 minutes.
Wow. They're coming.
That's a little spicy.
That door's not open there because we already have tons of fly issues.
The fly issue.
Oh, it's open.
No, we used to, so back when this was all the trading floor and like the algo group was in the back corner and some traders had to sit there and it would get really hot in the summer. And we actually had to instill a rule. I get it, it's a little hot, but you cannot open that door because the flies would get, I mean, it was bad before, but it was.
I mean, there are hot garbage dumpsters out there right now as we get that waft coming through right now. So
just keep that coffee close.
Cheers on that one.
Because the smell of coffee is fantastic.
Yeah.
The smell of Tesla at $350, depending on which way it holds, is going to be. Look, it's 350 was a pivot level yesterday. The best way to put it. Not the technical pivot point, but. You know what I mean when I say that. It was support until it wasn't, and I think the same thing again here today. It needs to, the next step in this consolidation, of course, is to break out the high, but if you're consolidating and don't break out the high, I think the first place I'd look is a fail break at that open. But that 350 is going to be the key. If we lose 350, I think we play back into 44 for that support. I like close prices, and when you find support off a higher close, right back in here, then I want to play back into it, and that's back on the 25th, right? So if we play off of some of that area after failing 50, that's where I'd like to look over in Tesla.
Look, for me, Tesla's a 350 to 351 short area. Weaker European sales, again, should give this a negative tone here today. So we'll wait to see what the market winds up doing, but I have Tesla written down here as a short. We've got 10 o'clock pending home sales as well. The 7-year note auction at 1 o'clock, 4 o'clock, Fed's Waller speaking right there. But All right, so TQ's long if we get that, but Tesla 350 to 351 short area there. And I just, we always are waiting for, I always say this on the show anyways, we're waiting for some kind of catalyst to hit for Tesla. And yeah, they're always releasing their sales numbers. And I was just looking over here yesterday and just thinking like, okay, so before this move, we now have the sales number. We didn't have the number, so now we have the number, and it's not strong. So I would think that fading out of this area here, 350, maybe now it's 351 to 352 because we don't want to, we've seen Tesla, again, do crazy moves right off the open and then come right back in again. So we'll have to wait to see exactly where to fade, but I'm thinking between now 51 to 52 in and around this area for a Tesla fade. So that's what I'm going to be looking for there, and I think it's a good one. We'll wait for that to happen. The market right now is heading south just a little bit. And Tesla's pulling back just a little bit. We'll check on, we're going to go to CoreWeave in is it CoreWeave? Yeah, yep. CoreWeave in just a second. AMD and Nvidia, not moving around too much here for Nvidia. Let's go check out what AMD's doing. AMD's kind of at the day's high right now as well.
Imbalances are nothing right now.
Yeah, imbalances aren't affecting anything. So maybe that's what this move has been happening. And here are the imbalances right now. There's your NIO. So, okay, we'll see if that can still get up there. We had Bill with earnings yesterday as well. There's your Ethereum right now, 34.85. I'm not sure what the high is on that, but that's starting to go here as well. So yeah, not too much on here. Let's go talk about CoreWeave breaking that $100 mark. Big stock, big day for CoreWeave.
Yeah, it might just be a technical thing. There's not much to know as far as headlines are concerned for CoreWeave. Nice couple of days, though, going back to the end of last week, really. Back above 100 here this morning. Number of analysts liking it, but that's really it.
Yeah, there was some positivity on the call yesterday, Breno, especially with respect to Blackwell. We'll reiterate some of these data points for you guys. So Blackwell chip sales rose 17% just quarter over quarter. It's now accounting for 70% of their data center revenue, which is about $27 billion in and of itself. In addition to that, the CFO, Colette Kress, projects $3 to $4 trillion in CapEx by the hyperscalers within 4 years, by 2030. So you have to assume that, a company that just their business is all about accumulating these GPUs and renting them out, they stand to benefit from that.
Yeah, still working its way higher here, guys. Couple minutes to go.
Yeah, 2 minutes to go here till we get that opening bell. CoreWeave pulling back a little bit. It was 7%. Now we're looking at 5.5. Prior highs are always a nice thing for me on the 15-minute chart. That's at like 98.5 to 99. Oh, was there a sell imbalance just now on the CoreWeave? That just... Yeah, 260,000 sell imbalance on CoreWeave.
Too, yeah.
Yeah, so look at that dip. It just went right into $100 on a 260,000 sell imbalance. That's 10% of the market volume here. So 99 looks like it might actually even come into test here. Nvidia, that didn't have an imbalance. Okay, Nvidia didn't really do much of anything there. Looks like CoreWeave was the only one on that imbalance locator that got a big update. Intel small sell. Open small buy, but outside of CoreWeave, which is already pairing off. I don't even see it anymore. Now down to 150,000 to sell. So they paired off almost half of that imbalance there on CoreWeave as they got the sympathy run to Nvidia, and how the market does today is going to be determined by Nvidia. Can we first hold on to this 178.5, these pre-market support levels? That's going to be the key for me at this open. Oh, there's one other name. Probably going to be on watch, I think, is a sympathy play as well. SMCI, $45.
Oh, is really coming in here.
Like SMCI, 1, 2. You can't really call it 3. You can call it somewhat 3 of a triple top for SMCI here. This one's looking for a potential breakout on, again, sympathy, right? It just comes down to rising tide lifting a bunch of ships.
Yeah, I'm just I'm looking right now, we only have 30 seconds to go. Yeah, CoreWeave with the dump, so I'm going to stay away from that one, but this might be a good opportunity to get long. I do have an offer at 352 here to see if we can get that, so we're going to wait to see what happens with Tesla coming through. I have a stop at 350. I'm just putting it in right now, 352.50s. So if we break through that, then we're going to get out of our Tesla trade there. So, all right, let's watch that. It's now on, brought to you by Beta Pro Global X. Make sure you go check these guys out, scan the QR code there, and get Beta Pro. The market is now open, so here we go, man. It's Tesla trying to make a little bit of a move higher. We're going to wait to see what winds up happening here with Tesla. Remember, 352 or so. We're looking for that fill on Tesla. Let's see what happens. Okay, what just happened right there? Oh, we're in Tesla already. Okay, so here we go, man. Tesla to the upside. There goes Tesla breaking. We went a little long there. Yeah, Tesla's going, Nvidia's going. The market is starting to get a little upside right there. There's Tesla, sorry. Short at 352, breaks out. We go long. Now we get Tesla. See what's going on here with TSLA pulling back in just a little bit. I'm actually just going to get out and just regroup with everything right now. We took a shot, missed it, fine by me right there, as now it starts to go back upside. There goes Nvidia, as Neil just mentioned.
Bye-bye.
Breaking through 183. See ya. Nice upside move there for Nvidia. All-time high break, 184.50 coming in.
Well, you just said
Yeah.
184.50 all-time high break. SMCI did break out. It broke to 45. I didn't get filled, and then
Tesla.
I manually tried to punch even higher, and then it just continues to go. So I'll leave the orders in. I'm going to leave my orders in just in the off chance. You never know when you're going to get picked right back up in there.
AMD is huge.
So we might see a chance to get that AMD going as well. But it was CoreWeave that was dumping at the open. It's still down around that 100 level. It's only now trying to go here on CoreWeave after bouncing off of 99.8 or so. So CoreWeave catching a few trades. We didn't mention Palantir, but just very quickly on note for Palantir, as the market screams higher, Palantir doing absolutely nothing.
Crazy.
If this market continues to go and Palantir doesn't want to participate, I'm going to put that in the bucket that it was in yesterday. But this is absolutely nuts. Nvidia did get to that 184. I didn't want to try that for a breakout simply because it's been resistance for 2 weeks now. So I can forget about 178.5. If we're going dip, then we got to go dip into the prior high.
All right.
That's 182.
I'm going to try the Tesla short again, just using that wick top there. I thought we were pretty close to getting this name right, and then the market just ripped for us right there. So we said that there's always these opportunities for Tesla to come in, and it did that today. It went come in and came into our price, went up. But there we go. We're back into this name, Tesla. We'll see if we can grab, okay, let's grab something down here in the teens if we're able to do that. And then there it goes. Yes, sir. Here we go, man. This is what we're doing, man. Traders got to trade. And there we go. Now $1 in the money and back, Neil, to Greensville one more time there on Tesla. So we go 1 for 2 there, but put a green mark on the paper. So it may not get to the downside like we thought it would. So let's just start to get some more out here on Tesla. But here we go, man. We're going to wait. Yeah, nice little move up there for Tesla right now. But Neil's into NVIDIA and SMCI, so why don't we go over there? Those are the hot stocks. We got Tesla right now, $1 in the money.
Yeah, Tesla coming right back in there for sure. But NVIDIA pulls back in 182. It just got to 182.5 and then back into 182 again. So I got this prior high. I got to zoom in. You're gonna have some interesting scaling, obviously, here. Giving it to that 3/4 mark. If it breaks VWAP, that's a completely different story if we break the volume weighted average price here. What just happened?
No, NVIDIA.
And SMCI broke that 45. I didn't get the breakout trade on SMCI, left the order in, was able to get 45.05 back in. That's still holding above, but it's NVIDIA which is trying to test back in lower. If we lose $0.50, I jump out and wait for 180 or the volume average price to get us in. And SMCI here, that was a, I don't know, there's no, look, obviously, look, it's sympathy to NVIDIA. Like, there's no actual news on SMCI, but it was just a triple top breakout, including the pre-market today at the 45 even level on SMCI. That's the only reason. You want to look for strengths in chip names today. Maybe Broadcom's going. NVIDIA's actually looking, it just held the 181.5. I think I should be reloading in here. NVIDIA's looking pretty good, but that was one heck of a wick at 84. Do not forget the level of selling that was going on for 2 weeks at this $184 level. If we can't punch through that today, then that does not bode well for this market continuing. And we just lost 181.5 just as I reloaded it. So the first bounce was good, and then we just came right back in underneath 181.5. NVIDIA, little bit of a fake and bake at that 184 level, and now starting to come right back in here.
All right, yeah. We're trying to stick with our guns here. Yeah, NVIDIA, wow. Nice downside play there. Let's hope Tesla can do it as well. We are now $1 in. We're bidding 351.50. Hopefully that fills us right now, and this market will pull back in just a little bit. We were talking about those weaker sales there for TSLA, so let's just wait to see where it goes. I'm hoping lower into here. 350. What is that? 350.30. It looks like a nice little down. Okay, come on, give me those 50s, man. Let's go to 351 flat. There it is. This is a big one right now. Let's just see if we can keep going on this. That's what we want to hope to have happen. But yeah, good little fill there. We'll see if we can get going one more time. Green on the desk over here today so far. So, but yeah, it's Nvidia there. I know it's a tough one. I actually, same thing. I was looking to break through that 184.50 mark. Does not happen. We can cancel that script now, as this is coming all the way back right now. But wow, do we have it right now, Neil? This is $2 now in the money right now on this huge trade for me on Tesla. And there it goes, man. As it was written, says Nas right there. Now 250, Neil, going to the downside. I guess you're out of their SMCI and Nvidia, but Nvidia down to 180. It's a big trade alert over here on Tesla, down to 350. And there's that mark that we thought we could get. And we did do that, man. We stayed in this trade. We thought about it. It didn't wick us out, but we were a little too aggressive maybe early getting into Tesla. And then I keep writing on here patience, and there it is, man. So it's a nice little win there for TSLA. Congratulations to all.
That's what it's all about over there for sure. And sometimes you reverse again. Make sure you stick with your guns. SMCI, I'm not going to hold on to it if it loses the 45. Breakout trade. It'll be a flat trade overall. Pay some fees on it. But if the market's going to come back in and hold higher lows, Nvidia, remember we got at Nvidia 181.5. I'm not sitting there fighting it. I can like it to the long side, but I'm not going to hold it $2 against me. No chance whatsoever. That's how you stay green. So you can have one trade, take it all. Just like yesterday. who would have known that Walgreens would be the best stock yesterday? And that happened in the last 5 minutes. I don't know what's going to happen here in Nvidia, but if we cannot hold on to this pre-market low, then you're going to be in trouble. Keep it small. If you like it to the long side, 178.5 was the support level that we liked. So we're going to see if we can't get that. Palantir was one of the only names that I was looking for the continuation to the short side because it was a pretty bad day yesterday for it. We'll see if we can pick up some VWAP here as we go to Adara, I believe.
Here on AQB, Aqua Bounty Technologies is the small cap name on watch. AQB does have about a $3.5 million market cap, 3.8 million share float. No news on this one, but nice push to the upside. Just a reminder, too, we actually don't have any numbers coming through at 9:45. So I believe we do have some at 10. At 10, we'll get U.S. pending home sales, but no 9:45 numbers, just to make sure everyone knows what's happening there with regards to data. Back to you.
I'm just glad to be here with you guys. There's Nvidia now, 70 cents in the money long. So we've got $3 in the money short on Tesla, and now there it is, Neil, and again, another dollar club right there for everybody on Nvidia. Let's just see how it goes right now. I'm starting to piece out. I'm already out of 70% of this trade. 30% of this trade, have 70% of this trade still back on. So let's see if maybe yesterday we caught the bottom here on Nvidia. Let's see if we can do it one more time again as there it goes, man. There it is. Now it's official dollar in the money. And we've been getting out some more downside here. Let's put another bid out and get out some more Tesla. So right now we're 350 in the money combined right now for the day on these trades. And there it goes, Nvidia, way up to 181. So as Neil said, a little bit early, but we've got it over here right now. It's still early. It's only 9:38. So yeah, nobody knows where the stocks are going. But all I can do is sit here every day and try to prove that there is money to be made here in this market. And yeah, it's $3 now in the money on this Tesla short and $1.20 in on Nvidia. So yeah, man, we're just chilling out right here. Thank you again to everybody in the chat. It's been fun, right? I mean, we didn't. I'm only looking at these two names, and they're two names that are on the watch list for myself. So it's sticky no time. We also wrote down, by the way, CoreWeave is a $100 trade there, and we didn't take it. So here's the note that we're talking about. There's the Tesla short. We have that. It's a huge play right there. The Nvidia 178. I mean, it didn't get down to there, so we just had to use our ability to read tape and watch stock, and it looked like it was slowing down, so we bought it. Same thing that was happening yesterday. Then there's the CoreWeave right there. Watch out for the key $100 bounce level. So hopefully some of you had that one, because that's exactly where it bounced off of, key level of 100. All right, man, $1.50 now in the money as Nvidia just keeps on climbing higher and higher and higher. We still have 65% of this stock on as well. So let me get out and let's just go, man. This is a hot dog kind of a day right now. Congratulations to everybody that are on some of these names. It's been a good one. I'm sure there's many other names.
Oh, there's plenty of other names moving in here. SMCI retook the 45 levels. We got that one. You already mentioned CoreWeave, so I won't bother to go over CoreWeave yet again. But we can't talk about the chips without acknowledging Broadcom. Sorry about that, Wick. Broadcom at the high of the day, up 2.5%. And AMD also, come on, also going. This one has a bad wick on it too. This one up at above VWAP, trying to break it out. Broadcom looks the strongest right now, up that 2.5 points, but rising tide lifting all ships. It's like you just pick something and go. I like that 45. So the second we got back above 45 on SMCI, we jump right back into it. I think this one has a little bit of catch up to do because it's only up 1% here. And if it can do anything like Broadcom, let's be real, this one has a bit of a gap fill to the 46 level. It's gotten burned the last couple of weeks, so this is coming off a nice little rounded bottom. And I know we should also mention CrowdStrike on those earnings. I didn't have a trade for it. It's now up 2%. CrowdStrike, they reversed the entire move. It is now breaking out through the high. And that was the thing. Like, sometimes you get that chance to dip buy in the morning on the second day, and other times you only can buy it in the aftermarket. That was your only chance to get the dip on Crowd. Now it's absolutely gone. Glad I own it, but was looking for an opportunity to grab some at a lower price this morning. It's not going to happen.
All right, good talk there. So we got long SMCI again. Okay, so yeah, so far so good here. NVIDIA goes right to VWAP, so we picked the top, we picked the bottom. I mean, again, it showed us that 179, that was sort of what we were looking at there. I don't know. The fact that it went up is a nice story, but we're still in 40% of it. I'm actually going to get out another piece right into here right now, or I'm going to punch out a little bit more. Okay, so we actually missed. We actually punched out 78s there. 88 story. We should have pushed 78s. I'm going to push a little bit lower there. There are 68s we wind up getting. Okay. All right, so we take a little bit more out there as it's trying to fade. Okay, there we go. And then we get a 98. So good pieces out right here for us on NVIDIA as just trying to sort of figure this one out. On our Tesla trade, we're very green today. I mean, we're going to go 2 for 2 with our Tesla and our NVIDIA ideas, but still more to come hopefully in this market. We did want to look at what the banks were doing. Shout out to everybody trading these today. Nice little downside move, but as we mentioned, the XLF at all-time highs right here today. I really wanted to see if NVIDIA wants to go. I'm going to try to leave this in now, and again, I have 35% left for NVIDIA. I'm going to put in one more offer in and around 182, so we're going to get there and then see if we're able to capture some of those profits, but this is just a day in the life of the market. I mean, we're just going up and down here a little bit. Hopefully Tesla will be able to crack a little bit lower. Look at Google, man. Really loving everything about Google these days. Huge name, huge move. There goes Google. We love that stock. And Marvell, a favorite of mine. I've been sort of pumping the tires of this name since their last earnings report. So about a quarter I've been in this name. It hasn't gone up that much. We're long at 64.50 or something like that, 65.50. It's had its move to $80. They're reporting tonight. Should be a good number tonight. I'm looking for MRVL, Marvell. So that should be a good one there tonight. And then many traders also talking about Open Door right now. Back to that magical level, of course, of $4.20. So we'll wait to see
that's better than
what winds up happening right here on Open Door. So, all right, Adara, I think, maybe? Yes?
Keep an eye here in CRWD. Now, this is actually a CoreWeave levered ETF. We know CoreWeave, of course, on watch with NVIDIA earnings. Yeah, I mean, levered options, or I guess levered ways of trading here, possibly on watch. Those who find CoreWeave a bit expensive, I guess, CRWG. Back to you.
Yeah, and there you go. There's something for everybody. Like for most of these names, like any of these momentum names, they all seem to have these leverage products out there. So good luck to you. Just make sure it does good volume if you're actively trading it. Some of them have a good quote. but when you pull up to level 2, there's not a lot of liquidity on those. Just be careful with that. CoreWeave is a little bit thin already, let alone any kind of a double or triple leverage product. The CoreWeave is trying to break out this high, but let's go to VWAP here, see if it can pull back in. It's been a big like dump zone, let's just say, for CoreWeave, but this resistance at 104.5 would be the one spot where you'd think you could have a pullback. If we don't get some kind of a dip into VWAP where you can join some higher lows, I might just try to take a 105 break, but I'm thinking this one's dipping as we speak. And Palantir's on the recovery trail. This is where, if it's gonna hold on to this trend down, I just have eyeballs at VWAP here. I need to see that weakness. If I can start to see the sells win here at the volume weighted average price, then this was the one. This is a stock that I wanted to the south side. The market's strong, and this is holding underneath that volume weighted average price. So sellers starting to come in here on Palantir. No particular news at all for Palantir. It's just a bit of a continuation from yesterday's trade.
Okay. I don't know, Joseph and Sharif, I'm not sure what to talk about right here because we're $4 now on Tesla. So that's a pretty good trade right here. What's up to Sharif and Joseph over there? What's up to Neil? Massaging those SMCIs. We like that one. But there it goes. Look, I mean, this is, honestly, we talk about fighting this stock. We got into it really early. Like, we got into it in the first 2 minutes, man. And then we got out. And like we said, we don't raw dog these things. We get out as soon as possible. And then I liked the short again, and we pushed it one more time to where now this is a big one. We're actually going to be up more now on Tesla than we are on Nvidia, believe it or not. And we had to wait for that to come in. So, all right, let's go check out what Snowflake is doing. Thanks, Randy, for the reload right there. As Snowflake just keeps on going higher. All right. Yeah, Snowflake right now, again, a good earnings number. Remember yesterday we had our good friend MongoDB, and that one kept on going all day as well, closing near the highs. It looks like Snowflake wants to copy its friend there and go higher as well. So there we go right now for Snowflake, continuously going higher. If you check out MDB from yesterday, it's a very, very similar idea here where you get a big data number, a big data name that just wants to keep going, and there's probably some traders that are underinvested in these names, and then when they come up with this, they just start to rip, and there it goes right there. MDB, even today, starting to go up another 3 and a bit percentage points. So there's that huge beat. I mean, it just looks similar to Snowflake, right? I mean, I'm not trying to do anything too difficult here, but there's the move yesterday for MDB, just kept on climbing all day. Today it extending again. So if we go over to a stock like an SNO and just see what its trajectory could possibly be, maybe it's something similar here, guys, where Snowflake just continues. There's the big beat, and here's the ride for the rest of the day. So let's wait to see what happens here with Snowflake. A good couple outs there on Tesla at the 200 period. It's trying to bounce back, but hey, we're still happy, man. Maybe Nvidia comes a little bit lower and we're able to get out of some of that. We did get I'm going to take another piece out here in the 20s. So we just were emptying out our clip up here on NVIDIA. Obviously, when we get the 200, the 50 period and the VWAP, those are great outs. We were waiting for a little bit more, but we can't be too greedy here with it. We've sort of got our day goal already. It's 9:45. It's been pretty good. We just need to look for some more opportunities as it's a pretty busy day here, needless to say. Tesla's starting to go back up to the upside as well. That was a good clear out for us. And Neo and some of these other names we'll have to look at, but we got to go over to Neil and see what he's up to. SMCI and a read.
Yeah, very quickly here, Palantir was able to get down to the low of the day, but it did break the volume weighted average price. Got to jump out of that one. It was a VWAP trade. We got it to the low, but it snapped back up in Palantir fashion. Like, trust me when I tell you. I'll tell you about that tape in a quick little bit here. But we got exciting news. We were talking about triple leverage ETFs, individual name, but ETFs are the game as well. So if you're a sophisticated Canadian trader, this is exciting for you because Beta Pro by Globex Canada has launched 6 new triple leverage ETFs, offering 3 times bull and 3 times bear exposure to the S&P TSX, 60, semiconductors, and U.S. treasuries. And even better, they're offering a special fee rebate. This allows management fees to be dropped to just 65 basis points till the end of the year. So you're going to want to make sure you capitalize on that. These employ currency hedging to seek to neutralize U.S. dollar exposure while also providing performance that may more accurately reflect the underlying U.S. equity indices. If you're a tactical, sophisticated trader and you are looking to amplify your performance, check out betapro.ca 3x to learn more. Shout out to them. And as always, scan the QR code, read the prospectus like we said before. You want to make sure that you are well informed and know the product you're trading. It's a good trading vehicle, but remember DK will get you on those if you're ever trying to invest in a leveraged ETF. Important factoid that we like to mention every single time. So I just wanted to talk about quickly the tape on Palantir there. Palantir, it was fading off of VWAP. It had just hit the low of the day break, and as I was putting in a trailing stop, it snapped clean about 50 cents initially through that low of the day, and then snapped another 50 points or 50 cents to break that high, but then comes right back under. So did I get the same price? That's a little bit bizarre. I got back in at exactly 22, old habits die hard, and it wicked VWAP. We're back into the short. It's still putting in lower highs. The other thing that's happening is the market as well kind of wicked the top and is now trending or holding underneath the volume weighted average price for now. So big reversal happening in the market. Reversal also here in Palantir. This hasn't been green the whole time, but if I see that same thing starting to happen at this low of the day again, I know how quickly it jumped up the last time. I will quickly try to jump out of this if I see that buying emerge like it did just a couple of minutes ago.
All right, so yeah, tough one there. SMCI going downside. We have to absorb this as well as we got Nvidia trying to, oops, that's Tesla. We got Nvidia coming back into the downside there. So yeah, be very, very patient as we keep on saying with all of these prices. So we've got a long right now. We're long at 179.30s. Not the end of the world here by far. So we're going to wait and see if we can get a little bit of a bigger dip down for Nvidia so we can get it. Remember to like and subscribe, man. I mean, we're trying to do it over here. We're going to go 2 for 2 with this position pending right now. And again, like, we're just showing you the positions that we have on. And hopefully you guys, I see there's some talk there about some of the positions that we've had, but just these are what we have on. You can see some of the outs on all of it. And just right there, Neil was in Palantir and out, in SMCI and out. We're both been in Nvidia, or maybe you haven't, but here goes Nvidia right now. We're gonna watch out for that and see what winds up happening. DKS, Dick's Sporting Goods, also report. I'm getting out if it breaks 178, so in and around that area. Dick's Sporting Goods reported, and they were down earlier, down to 215, 216. Now all the way up to 230. Wow, what a recovery here for DKS as well. So that's been a really nice little look there. Let's have a quick look at other names in the.
Oh my goodness, they faked it out
in the semi area as well. So what just happened over there?
That the buying that was there on Palantir, it came in again at 155 and a quarter, went right up to 75. So it did another like 50-cent swipe to the upside like it did before. I said if I saw that coming in, I'd try to get out. I actually got a good price out. It just slammed it. They just slammed the bid right after put the trail in. I was right back at VWAP to try and get those 22s again. Palantir continues to fall. This is just a continuation play as far as I'm concerned. Like if anything, you'd think like, you know, Snowflake and the good news for the market, this would have been a strong name. But I thought it'd be strong yesterday too and got away with the long yesterday. Today it is distinctly different here on Palantir, down that 1%. But don't just look over at Palantir. Don't just look over at the chip names in the overall market. Amazon went green to red just now. Yeah. So then that was actually strong today, breaking a big 230 level on Amazon. Apple just hit, a lot of these wicks, Apple just hit the low of the day as well. That's been trending down the entire way here. So we are getting a distinct pullback overall after that exuberance on Nvidia. The place I didn't have a lot of short ideas. So the one I want to get back into is simply Palantir, right? The next available pop, going to look to re-energize the short in PLTR. AMD as well, pulling back for everybody out there watching. Still a little bit strong, but this looks like it's trending toward the low. This might be 25 Intel time. Yeah, Intel does it does a weird thing at the even dollars, and this is fail the break. It's just a setup. If Intel fails the break of the high and then holds under VWAP, it is generally speaking a pretty good short at that price. Doesn't always work. Doesn't always work. I mean, yesterday it broke down first, but if we come back into the volume weighted average price, this market remains weak. You short a weak name, relatively weak name, I would say. If I don't get Palantir, it's got to be that.
Yeah, we're, okay, so right there, NVIDIA just gave up that 178. We waited for a little bit lower. I'm actually going to try it again here on Palantir and give it to 177.50. Sorry, NVIDIA, yeah, NVIDIA, sorry, my bad. On that one, so here we go. Let's see if we can get it going now. Well, I mean, we don't need to get it going. Hopefully it'll get it going itself. Right now, back to the upside. So I'm gonna put in a stop right now of 177.50. If it breaks back down below there, because remember, weak hands, right? I mean, there is going to be a move to the downside here for NVIDIA. We sort of thought that was going to wind up happening, which is why we cleaned out a lot of that right there, but still not going to be the greatest trade here if it keeps on doing this. Well, we'll get back in here at the quarter mark, okay, and then now we'll have to wait because here comes the push down. Last time trying the long because we've already broken 178. Let's see if we could do it. Yesterday we had that $4 winner off the bottom. It doesn't look like, I mean, we can easily get $4 off this one, but it might be $4 the other way right now. It could be downside. We've already had, even if you just shorted it off VWAP right there, that was $4 that way. So I'm not, the four doesn't matter. I'm just saying yesterday we got that. Today doesn't, you know, if you're going for the long right now, you know, stock coming out of this name, you know, people are selling into the all-time high. I mean, we almost broke all-time highs right there, right off the open. So the minute that kind of was rejected up there, I was actually looking to go long on that break, and pretty luckily that it did not happen. So we'll have some medicine right here as it continues to go to the downside right here for NVDA. Tesla's been a really good trade, but still waiting for a little bit more there. So here we go, man. We're back into the, well, we were back into the money there on NVIDIA. Maybe I should take something out this time. If it comes back up to 178, we'll do that. But yeah, maybe we have a big winner right now. This is the mark that we wanted. So we're long right now on NVIDIA. Let's just see if we can get a fill. It's not filling us up too much right now. So looks like there it is going to break right. Oh, nope. All right, so it's very, very close, man, to breaking. So we got to be careful here with NVDA. It's not looking very healthy now. If you guys are in this, you know, I'm trying to get some out at 178, and then we're getting out in 10 cents as it breaks lower right now, I think. Market giving it all up. Market going red.
The Nasdaq, yeah, the Nasdaq went red, but the ES went red like a hot minute ago.
Yeah.
NVIDIA on a 1 minute chart, it's trying to break the trend on the 1 minute. Did it just take the low?
Yeah, well, it's at the low right now.
Okay, so it's at the low. That just nullifies the trend break. Yeah, unfortunately, that nullifies the trend break. There was a reversal candle, but unfortunately, it's not holding out. The only thing that is holding out is let it snow.
Yes.
15.5%. Snowflake, they were the earnings beat. CrowdStrike actually did recover nicely as well, but Snowflake's even starting to turn around a little bit here as that name, everything good about it. I mean, they even, like Snowflake I don't think they had made money the prior quarter. So I think it was a return to profitability because they were EPS positive. I want to double check to see if that was adjusted though.
I think they did make money the previous quarter, but maybe not.
It might have been on an adjusted basis, maybe.
Maybe not.
I don't know. The old accounting thing always bugs me. When you have a stock which usually loses a bunch of money and they only get gap positive, I feel like going real positive, making a true profit is a bigger story. We'll see if that happens for Snowflake. I gotta double check that. Intel, oh man, it's just bouncing off the lows. We got into the volume weighted average price here as its lower highs trending down. But when I see this on NVIDIA, just to give you the idea of what I'm looking at.
Oh no, wrong price.
I'm waiting for the trend break on NVIDIA. So it looks like it's trying to do it again here, breaking the trend on the 1 minute down here at the 177. This is looking like a nice bottoming tail candle. But you want to see some actual, every time I go to draw the line, it just breaks the low again. Like, what's the point? Like, I'm like, yeah, let's go for the trend break here, and it just continues to flush. So I don't have Palantir anymore. We're into Intel, and like I said, this is one of these markets where you like to think that they would buy it up, but sometimes you're priced to perfection, and they just don't care. And they just don't seem to care right now on NVDA.
No, I'm going to try. I'm going to try on AMD right now. I'm just going to go over to a different name. We are still short Tesla. Tesla's holding the day for me right now, which is thankfully happening. We're going to have to watch out. Yeah, NVIDIA down to 176 and change right now. We're going to give this one into 166.50 where we closed yesterday. I'm going to give AMD just a little bit more room right now. I just don't want to stop out so quickly on this. I actually had a keystroke error there. We put out the wrong price. I put out 167.99 instead of 166.99, and then we got stopped out, so I bought it back. So if you're seeing it flash in, but this is my real price right now, 167.11. Let's just wait to see what winds up happening on this. I'm going to give it, like I said, about to 166.50, so about 60 cents or so. So we need that to come through now if it's going to work out for us, right? So that's what we're waiting for. 167 or so 50 will be the first area to get something out, and by something I mean we'll get out 10%, and then hopefully we can climb higher and get this back to the 1-to-1 risk to reward that we need in order to do some damage here. So yeah, that's what we're doing right now. We're going to wait out for some AMD. CoreWeave has been another name that we talked about with an upgrade today as well. CoreWeave, but if we're going to look just real quickly, we are going to go over to Adara right now for numbers. Then we'll come back and have a look at some more unique names. Adara.
After that higher than expected GDP print, we're going to be getting pending home sales. Negative 0.24% is the forecast here compared to negative 0.8% previous. Coming in at negative 0.4%. So these pending home sales actually a little bit lower than expected. Again, we had a forecast here of negative 0.24%, coming in at negative 0.4%. Pending homes index 71.7%, slightly below the previous print of 72. The Nasdaq not reacting too much to this, still trying to bounce a little bit at the 572.50s. Now, it is worth noting that tomorrow we're going to get another big round of economic data at 8:30 a.m. We have the Fed's preferred inflation gauge, or PCE. That'll be coming out at 8:30. Then at 10 a.m., we're going to be getting the University of Michigan Consumer Sentiment. That's another closely watched print. Let's talk about Nvidia. NVDA down here on earnings. They did beat EPS and sales, but unfortunately in some of their segment revenue sections, they did actually miss certain revenue estimates, and their margin guidance was viewed as a bit of a concern. CrowdStrike also had some guidance-related concerns here. They did beat on EPS and sales as well, but their sales guidance for Q3 was a little bit lower than expected. We have Snowflake earnings as well, and then tonight after the bell, we'll get numbers from Dell, Marvell, and Affirm, amongst others. Check that out with Sean and myself on the Market Recap shows. We send you back to the guys.
Oh, boys.
Oh, Affirm as well? We know all about Marvell.
Tonight,
that's
boys.
That's going to be a mover, but Affirm might take the cake on a percentage basis. So Nvidia broke trend on the 1-minute chart. As you can see here, prior bar low is going to be the out, but it's already it gets up to 177.5 from 177, and the selling just starts to come back in. So maybe every 50 pennies on this is just going to be resistance on Nvidia as they continue to sort of sell the news here on NVDA until
Let's go.
Weird to be long one short the other, but as I do that, Intel is literally bouncing off the low of the day, so I'll take some out in front of the low of the day. As if the market's bouncing, then why wouldn't this bounce as well? So Nvidia, half. I'll try to get some at 77. If it can blow out 77, then you look easily from 79 to 80. So just waited for that trend to break. Finally gave you a break of the trend line on this 1-minute chart that we're waiting for, and we try to sniper ourselves into this one as the market's trying to go. The Nasdaq's back to flat on the session. If it goes green again, I can't see any reason Nvidia can't make a run in here, at least to the 78.
All right, there we go, man. The big stock right now will be AMD for me as, we called it 167.11s. We were long, and we just covered some in there in the 80s. It almost got, that was 80 exactly, almost got going, as Neil had mentioned there, to the high side. So here we go again for AMD. It's a big trade. It's, again, big amount of shares for this one compared. So we'll wait and hopefully we can get it. There it goes. We get 90 out right there, the level that we had talked about. So let's see if we can get going now on advanced micro devices. Trying to turn us here into Greensville as we lost already on NVDA. And, now Nvidia, good trade over there. I'm glad Neil has that one. We're just going to wait for it. We did cover some more on Tesla here as well. No, I did not. I thought I got filled on Tesla. No, I did not. 350.90. I put a bid out there. I thought I got filled, so I did not. So we're waiting down here now at 350.90. I'm actually going to put a bid now on. It doesn't matter. The whole day is riding right now with There we go. Well, we get it anyways, 350.90. So there it goes. Right there at VWAP, right where we wanted it. So good trade there. Hopefully this will pull back in a little bit for us. But yeah, Advanced Micro Devices is now the dollar club. I see Nvidia's going there as well. We have, obviously enough shares on this to make a difference. So we're going to wait to see for ourselves anyways. Down here in the 90s is a pretty good out. We'll see if we can get it out to 167. This is that area that we'd look to break higher, man. I mean, hopefully we can. We'll get a few more outs here at 167. But what I wanted to show you was sort of the breadth of this market again here today, because we always sit in and we talk about, like I said, we're very, very focused on all of the same names, it seems like. But there's Nvidia down now 2%. So that's going to be, the kicker today. I did want to look at Broadcom, which made me think like, hey, instead of just sitting here looking at Broadcom, let's look at the whole space. So Broadcom up 2%. So not everything following the way of Nvidia. Go AMD right now. Google 1.3% upside as well. So that's going to be a good one. You see in the tech space, there's a lot of green over here. What's been getting hit today is health technology. I actually didn't look at healthcare itself yet.
Oh, it's bad too.
Yeah, okay. So J&J, and it's just because there's just basically a focus right now on the semis. So a lot of money maybe coming out of some of these names and going back over into the chip space. Merck down 1%. Merck's had a good run as well. We love ourselves some Eli Lilly. That's been a good one. J&J's been in my account for way too long, too many years, too many decades in the account there for J&J. But yeah, so those names are going upside as well. And then we had the breaker of the all-time breaking levels here on the XLF, broke all-time highs, and so are many of these bank names, including a Bank of America. There's JP Morgan, that's the one that I own. They're down 1%. We also have been buying, I probably own more Berkshire than JP Morgan, but I'm not even trading that out. That's more like an index for me, as well as the Dow. I've been buying the Dow recently. You guys know that well in the last year or so. Coinbase right there up 1.15%. So that's trying to kick around as well for Coinbase. So yeah, man, lots of stuff happening. And oh boy, man, we are now way huge on the market as we're really starting to go higher. We took a shot. We put our, sort of put our flagpole in right here on AMD and getting well rewarded as we get right back to Greensville. I hope some of you guys are also having some good days today. And it's Adara at the desk. It's 10:05.
Keep an eye here on Pure Storage, PSTG. This is another earnings name. This one is at high of day. Nice push to the upside. They beat on EPS and sales, and they raised their guidance for sales for the fiscal year. Back to you.
Also going, but I got to do one thing very quickly for you guys, because we should have done this a lot earlier. Why have we not done the visualizer? I see SoFi gets asked about a lot here. I'm just going to refresh this for everybody. If you're new to the game, make sure when you type in a symbol that you're interested in, you type in $ and then the symbol, like $Apple, like $SoFi, and then you'll see it pop in. SoFi is probably going to pop in any second now because I just typed it. So we'll see that jump up. SoFi, Tesla, Nvidia, Open Door, a lot of the same ones. We'll be able to check back in, and then we'll get a sense of what is moving and what is not. Nvidia does go clean, 177, but I had to follow a rule. The Nasdaq was at VWAP, and it was at what I thought was the original support level, which was resistance. Well, if a seller comes in there, then that's where I scalp to. And then I want to play it above the 178 if it can hold that. Because that dip buy didn't hold. And this is the thing, you can like a stock at a certain level, but there was no buy at the 178. There was no trend break. It happened at 77 and not at 78. So then I traded at 77. And that's sort of the idea. Like, it's one thing to look at and say, yeah, I like that level. But if there's nobody buying at the level, then why am I buying at that level? It doesn't make a heck of a lot of sense. So, as I mentioned, SoFi is SoFly, and it's up 3%. Part of course, like the financial names are strong today. This is fintech, not a traditional bank, even though they have the charter. This one is looking primed. I don't know if you can break out that top today. Not with the market did a fail break of the high and is still trying to put in a lower high, so we could see some trouble trying to break out that top. But certainly, as long as this can hold trend, we've seen SoFi do this all day long, pull back into the prior high, pull back into VWAP are the places that I usually like to go. Intel's still looking pretty bad. Like, the market goes green again, and Intel's at the low of the day. So I think this is one of those, maybe it's going to be counter trend. for the entirety of the session here. And if that's, that's just how it does sometimes. If this stays weak, the shorts into the volume-weighted average price on Intel as usual. No, I think it's bottomed. Look, man,
I don't love the stock, but
it's bottomed at 19.
Catalyst, yeah.
I think the bottom's at $19 on this thing, and then when it gets to 25, you start thinking about the curl. Because that's basically what's every single time it gets to 25, seems to fail somewhere up here, and then you get the 19 again, and until it maybe breaks 28 or what's this wick high, like 28.5, then it has a little something going. Government wants to take a stake? Great. I don't, we'll see. I mean, they're not going to the open, well, this is what it is. They might go to the open market and some of these other names that they're talking about, but certainly Nvidia looking for that comeback trade. As long as we can close a 15-minute above 178, then I'll be convinced that that's the re-entry and not this 77 bottom. We're still under VWAP and still looking like they wanted to rinse it this morning.
Yeah.
And until we really break, we could be breaking, we're breaking this trend now from the high. So you've sort of done that at the 78 level. But when I look at that higher time frame in here, I got to look back and say, hey, we could easily run into some resistance at that 179.5. I know there's a lot of names that we didn't get to, and Open is near the top of the list, but we got to give it up. Give it up to Snowflake.
Oh yeah, what's up with that list?
19% now on Snowflake.
Yeah.
This is the one, but I had to stop and fail on it.
Oh.
Because when the market dipped, I didn't take the 230 break. 230 broke at 9:44, and what are you gonna do? You can tweet about it, but if you don't take the trade, I don't know how clean it was, because quite frankly, I wasn't watching it at the time, but it looks like it was clean. Snowflake is on an absolute run. This is a really good breakout for Snow. Just keep in mind, the actual, the February high is right here at like $240. So it's already gone 230 to February of 2024, I should say. Not this February. February of 2024, the high is $240. So Snowflake is your big earnings winner so far today, which I don't think we're too surprised with. One way or the other, this was going to be the biggest mover out of all the earnings names yesterday.
Yeah, good job there with Snowflake. And we actually talked about it earlier when we were talking about it versus Mongo. And I was like, look what MongoDB did yesterday.
Well, that was insane.
Yeah, so Snowflake could continue the same move as Mongo. I mean, they ended up 30-something% yesterday. Maybe Snowflake has a very, very similar trajectory. Okay, so let's just review over a couple quick names as it's 10:10. Welcome, everybody. Hit the like and the subscribe. Right now, we only have, I'm going to refresh this feed so I can get into it. We are now in 4K, by the way. So we're sorry about that. Now you can see what we really look like, but we are now into 4K. So, hit the like, hit the subscribe. I'm just trying to let this little preview go here. Sharif looks funny in this one. He's outside right here. Sharif loves these little TikTok things, so shout out to Sharif right here and to Ramin who's doing this. All right, once this, hurry up and get through this, man. I'm just trying to see how many, it's so crazy. All right, I'm gonna just refresh this. How long is it here? Man, this guy loves his TikTok. All right, there it is. Let's push play right now. Only 900 likes, so let's get that going. 8,700 of you watching right now. Let's get this like count just up just a little bit. And as I've told you this before, I think it's the truth. If you do hit the like button, the chances are around 50% that your next trade will be a winner. So that's pretty good odds. So I think you should hit the like button if you are physically able to do that. Please do it. And thank you again for all of that. But the stories here go as we continue. So again, Nvidia beats earnings expectations there. Some concerns about data center. And then we worry about what exactly that 15% is going to mean to them. What's this China play look like? Are they going to be able to sell Rubin or Blackwell? And we did have a story there where Fox reported that, yes, there was some China talk there. And then that sort of spiked this stock up real early, got it going right into here. And now the fade is happening over on that name. CrowdStrike, here's a earnings loser into a winner real quick. CrowdStrike yesterday exceeded Q2 adjusted earnings and revenue estimates, again, with strong growth, right? But shares fell with muted guidance and a small little deal that they announced, and there's where the shares fell down on CrowdStrike yesterday, down into this 390 area, and then bought right back up today where we are now up 2%. CrowdStrike catching a bid for sure. Let's go. I'm still waiting we still have about 40% of our AMD, and that's really cooking right now as we are in Greensville there. Pan W also having a nice move to the high side as well. We highlighted Dick's Sporting Goods. I love the store, man. There's a new sport check that's right here by Sherway that reminds me a little bit of Dick's Sporting Goods. It's a double level thing, and it's an absolutely gorgeous store. Shout out to Sport Check and Canadian Tire, the owners over there. But better than expected Q2 results and a raise of full year guidance for Dick's Sporting Goods. They were down pretty good in the pre-market on no volume. They've now picked back up as well. Tesla, the absolute face slapper, Neil, of the day trading wise here. Now $4 now in the money on this trade. So as Tesla again, oh my Lord, coming through there is Tesla. And we'll take another bid here at 349 now. And again, we had marked it down that we like this trade. It's on the sticky note today as the number one trade. The number one trade is actually the TQs. We'll have to go back and check that out. But there it was, the Tesla short. Again, Tesla short, European car registrations fell in July. So down goes the stock. We did get wicked out. No, I keep saying wicked out. I hate that term. It's not, has nothing to do with anything. Well, you get stopped out, and most of the time they are on wick, so it's a stop out right there. The wick high on this one is 353. So that actually kept going there and could have gone a little bit higher. You know, Neil, a name that we didn't talk too much about, and I don't mind it. I don't love this space here. They do give, Best Buy. They do give a dividend. So there's something there for that. But at the end of the day, down 3% here for Best Buy.
When's the last time you were in one?
Honestly, just like last week, but beat Q2 adjusted EPS and revenue expectations.
It's been a minute.
But it's. I understand your point. Is I'm not spending any money there. We went there for a little doohickey. I don't even remember what it was anymore. But we happened to go by there. I needed something. Maybe it was a screen protector or something like that, and we wound up stopping in there. But Best Buy, yeah, good call.
People shut on
that one, but
there's a lot of options these days.
that's the thing. But I do like the stock still. So all right, that's Best Buy. All right, so here goes AMD. We'll throw it over to Neil here to get some more talk about some different things. But AMD at a good level here again, 168.35. Man, we really planted our flag down here at 167. So I like Best Buy, but I think Amazon's taking over everything.
That's what I'm saying. Like I don't know, with the amount that I use Amazon and I don't have a Costco membership, but let's just say I know somebody that does, and you get to be able to use that sometimes, even though maybe not supposed to. But I'm not a huge fan of Best Buy, and the price action is a little bit shady on this. One note on this. I actually believe that when this Foot Locker deal closes for Dick's, that could be a positive catalyst. It's closing, I believe, this or next month. And I think that could be, maybe it'll bounce, because it's an all-stock deal. Sometimes you get that out of the way and get the synergies going, and it can be a good thing. But Best Buy, this looks really bad. Like, really bad. You gapped and lost the 200-period moving average. I think they're facing a lot of competition. It's been trend down for quite some time now, and it feels like a fade. Didn't have a lot of short ideas on here, but I feel like that should have been one of them. It flat out should have been one of them. And to the point with Dick's Sporting Goods, I know it's looking a little flaccid today, but they're already buying it back up. Like, what you want to see is what happens when a quality company falls down into like the 50-period or the 200-period moving average, especially after earnings. What's the response? They bought it back up once. Okay, fine, it failed the high, but can they buy it back up again? Right. So this one, I think you give that 3-day rule here with Dick's. Look, every time I'm in the U.S., I have a friend he flat out will not go to the U.S. without going into a Dick's Sporting Goods, and we'll see how the Foot Locker acquisition goes for them. I can see that in both ways, but they're picking that one up on the lows, and I don't think this is going to hurt them. They're the everything store anyways, as far as I'm concerned. So, good brand. I just think you got to wait this one out for a couple of days here, unfortunately. CoreWeave. Okay.
What, breaking 100?
No, not yet.
Okay.
Not yet, but CoreWeave up on sympathy to Nvidia, and this could be a flat bottom break. Shoot, I don't have locates on this. That's just silly. Because when you're looking for a long, you don't always pay. I can't. I have to refresh Metro. You can't always. I'm looking for a long, so I wasn't really thinking pay for the locates here, but you're starting to roll over through VWAP, and at the same time, Nvidia is putting in a lower high. As well. So this is trend down, and if CoreWeave's up mostly because of some strong numbers out of Nvidia, you got to be very careful if it breaks this bottom. Shoot, well, it doesn't matter if I can't get the shorts. I'll have to try reloading a couple times. Metro. But the market's starting to come right back in.
Yeah.
Here. I got to get these locates because I want to short this break.
$6 in the money now. stand up, traders. Let's go, man. It's a big one. Props up to anybody that was reading the note today. You know, we had given this area here, and I talked about it yesterday when people were like, you know, how come Tesla's not on my note? And it was just like I said yesterday, we're waiting for some kind of catalyst. And today, it wasn't even that great of a catalyst, but there it is right there, 350 to 351 short area, weaker European sales. So yeah, well, first of all, the number one stock for the day here is going to be AMD P&L wise. It's not even close. But this stock right here is going to be the biggest percentage winner, maybe potentially. Actually, this is a $500, $300 name, so I don't know. Maybe AMD is a bit bigger. But I'm going to get out another piece here as we're back into the 20s of advanced micro devices. But yeah, it's really slipping up here, Tesla. So a good out there around 347. If we're going to look to see how low can we go, wow, I probably tweet this one out, but there it goes to the bottom now. Glad that you're here with us live on the show once again, and you guys have hit the like button, and I want to thank you for doing that. Now, we asked for a man at 900, 1.3K right now, so salute to all of you guys for doing that. We definitely want to thank you for doing that. Let's go ahead and look at crypto. I've already said, like, I like crypto, but I'm not in here to get rich. I think that day is over with now, unless you're playing, you know, the triple levered stuff. And there's a lot of opportunity to get into crypto. So no matter how you're playing it, either buying the coins themselves. I think Neil and I talked about this a little bit. Why not just buy the physical coin instead of this BMNR stuff? Yeah, it might not be easier, but it's just it's you can wrap your mind around it. That's for sure, and you don't have to worry about BMNR. And yeah, exactly. You don't have to say, is there an offering or what's going on with that? But I cannot be any happier. I mean, I could be. I would like a 314 instead of 214, but Solana. Oh man. I'll be going into the sauna today, but Solana has been a real nice take there, man. Now up, I'm starting to do that more now. I do the workout, and then I'm in the sauna for 5 to 10 minutes afterwards, just chilling out, saying, that's when I think about the trades, actually, is when I'm in there, and I just think to myself, okay, how can I do better? What can I do better on all that? But they say not to bring, I don't even bring my watch into the sauna. They say you don't want to you don't want to do that. So it's not like I'm looking things up. I just sit there and sort of. I've never really done any
like meditation.
Yeah, that's a good word. I've never done any meditation before, so I just kind of chilling out in there and enjoying the time and you know, just relaxing a little bit after that.
I like jumping back and forth, so I would always. It's like the hot cold thing.
Yeah, that's cool. I see some people are doing that.
It's good for recovery, but
yeah, and I think that's why.
It's like to each your own.
What's up, wannabe trader? There we got a lot of wannabe traders, that's for sure, and that's why we did the show. I mean, trading is a sort of a lonely game, and
it can be. It doesn't have to be, but it can be.
Well, yeah, exactly, and that's the thing that we're talking about right now, and that's why we made the show. Like now, you can see Neil and I, obviously, two completely different strategies that we kind of employ here, and yeah, it's different styles, and you know, like right now, this is $6. We are now $8 in the money on these two names, and it's been a pretty successful day here so far. We're always looking for more. We wound up losing I don't want to say too much. I mean, we definitely didn't lose too much, but you know, this move down for Nvidia, I was really taking a shot here on earnings day that 178 was going to hold. It does not. It goes down into 176. So yeah, good little talk there, I think, about many things other than stock market related stuff. So yeah, there it goes, man. Nvidia moving down, AMD moving around as well. We've cashed out of a little bit more of this name just recently here in and around, right? I mean, we just got this bump right there into 168.50. So here it comes back up. I am getting a little nervous because I'm not out of everything. So we're going to put another piece out right there. So now on AMD, I'm actually only holding 20% left of AMD. So, all right, what's up, Jonathan? Yeah, there it is, man. It's never a lonely game when we're here. That is the point. So, all right, let's go back over. And here we go. A relatively new addition to the family. I mean, Adair's been here for a while, but what a great addition it's been. Let's go over to the desk with A.
It'll be 2 years on August 30th. So let's talk here about IWM, which is not having a great time here. We did have some support, at least on a wick basis, at 235.50, but let's see if that Russell 2000 is able to hold up if we test this again. It's worth noting too, with the Russell, it is very sensitive to rates, so keep an eye on this at 8:30 tomorrow when we get the PCE price index. That is, of course, the Fed's preferred inflation gauge. Then at 10 a.m., we'll be getting the University of Michigan Consumer Sentiment print. That print, well closely watched by the market, also contains an inflation metric as well, the inflation expectations. That's certainly going to be something to watch. Let's talk about CWD. This small cap here, about a $3 million, or sorry, I think $7 million market cap. It's under $10 million market cap. Float here is about 1.5 million shares. They announced that they're adopting a digital asset strategy related to Chainlink, so good look for CWD. AQB on watch, Aqua Bounty Technologies. No news on this one. I did mention it earlier, but we do have about a 3.5 million share float for AQB. Last but not least, SOGP Sound Group. Their sales here for the first half of the year have been announced. They also approved a special cash dividend payable as of September 15th. So good look there for SOGP. Back to you.
There and another, well, I guess technically it's not a small cap. That's why it doesn't always fall into Open Door. It's above 2 billion, so technically it isn't one, but depending on your definition, I think it's 2 billion that usually most people use these days. Kind of random, but 9% to the upside. It's holding in highs here. So 78 million shares. I just want to get it out of the way that this one's been declining volume despite all of the interest online and the trying to get Drake to buy a share and the squeeze potential. On some level, hey, rates are coming down. That's still going to be good for Open Door in the long run, in the short run possibly as well. And it looks like it caught a little bit off this $4 level. Ooh. What's next? Well, the problem is it's right at these prior lows. Like it held almost all afternoon at 440 before falling apart. And then that was a prior support level. So this needs to break the 440 level here on Open Door. I said in the afternoon yesterday, look for a bounce off $4 tomorrow, which it didn't do, but it's above $4. I mean, it got to 409, I guess, so technically it got there, but 440. I mean, you can take a 440 breakout into the open range high was like 435. It's like 5 cents worth of risk. And if Open Door gets to $5, I'd be surprised. But if it got to 465, 470, I would not be surprised just looking at this. So there's a lot of liquidity here. Just remember, it's not doing the liquidity like it was a week ago. Like this stock is not doing 1 billion shares anymore. So it's not quite as good of a vehicle to trade. That's how hype stocks go. You know, it's a pure retail squeeze hype name. Those tend to dwindle off and people forget about them for a couple of days and then they get a bit of a relief rally. So a little dead cat bounce here, let's call it, on Open Door. But I'll still take this breakout of 440. If it's not going to retest the 4 level, that's pretty much all it can do. I just can't get over this rally in Snowflake. It's actually starting to pull back in here. The biggest earnings name was Snowflake. They were actually able to be profitable, and they beat on top and the bottom. The guidance was also good. I don't want to see this roll back over because I feel it could be a sentiment shift that's going on here. Like if this was the strong thing in the morning, which obviously it was, it just broke trend. Like so many times I'd be short this thing, breaking the trend. But I'm kind of bullish over 230 on Snowflake. That's the only reason I wouldn't be thinking short this back into the volume weighted average price. So I'm not going to do it. Open Door looks like it's going to be the next trade for me, that small capper, which is trying to break out the highs. Because the market's coming back into the downside. So it's got to be some kind of a small capper, something that might not care about the market too much if I want to be long. And Palantir.
Look what's happening. Tesla's now $8.
It's tanking. Yeah, Palantir right back at the lows as well. This market's coming down, everybody.
Yeah, that's for sure. Look, I mean, look here. I mean, this market is absolutely. You want? I'm supposed to do that now, Andre, or? Okay. Yeah, I can do whatever you want, my guy. Over there, but yeah, there it is right now. I mean, look at Tesla now, $8. I mean, this is really holding the day for me. We still wound up making more money on AMD than we did over there, but I just think that it was a pretty good idea here to be short this name, and there goes Tesla. So we just covered a little bit more, and I was just actually zooming it out. I do see what you're saying in the chat there. This 345. I mean, this is the area right here. I mean, would have loved to have held the whole bag into here, but we're going to cover some and waiting for a potential bounce now in Tesla, but we got some business to take care of because Trade the Pool has been here a few times. We have Mitch on, and now they're offering a free ebook, which of course is featuring 4 proven swing trading strategies there from their funded traders, how they manage risk, what some of the strategies entail. You can scan that QR code right now on your screen and get the swing code completely for free and go find out what they're all about now at Trade the Pool. Again, we want to thank them for their continued support here on the show, and yeah, go check it out. I feel like I'm missing the boat here. I should be putting something out myself here, but right there, it's a nice little move for Tesla. Nice downside play. All right, so AMD. Yeah, I probably won't reload this thing. You know, we don't want to give up too much of this back in. Let's take another fill right there. I just crossed down into 66, so we do get that fill right there at 66 there on Advanced Micro Devices. So right now we're getting less and less, man, into this trade. So hopefully we'll be able to sit here and get a rebound in this name, but we're still happy with what's been going on there in this market overall. I mean, the SMH continues to get hit there today, as you know, for obvious reasons. Nvidia downside and AMD starting to turn around finally now, but it's, remember, there's still Broadcom, there's still Marvell. Actually, at the end of this,
Dell needs to report too.
It's so funny because like I didn't buy, yeah, Dell. I'm only buying Marvell. Like it's so strange because I'm not necessarily buying Marvell at the right times. Like I want to get longer in Marvell, and buying it the day before earnings is risky. I did it last time, didn't work out. It went against me like 5% and then ripped. So we're still long in the 60s here on Marvell, but definitely debating getting a little bit more. If the market comes back, I'm going to be buying some Marvell here before earnings, like something, if we can get something around 74 bucks, I think that would be a treat, needless to say, on MRVL. Okay, it's 10:30 right now, and you know, again, a bunch of good talk. I hope you guys are liking it. Hit the like button, hit the subscribe. We'll talk some more. We have to look at that visualizer because we'll see what names you guys want us to cover a little bit more, and we'll do exactly that when we get back from Madeira.
Just want to let you guys know the White House is coming out and making some comments with regards to what is happening with Fed's Cook, and again, the potential removal of Fed's Cook. Donald Trump has called for her ouster, and he fired her via a Truth Social post. The White House is basically saying that Trump has identified just cause to dismiss Lisa Cook, that she was, quote unquote, credibly accused of lying, and basically that he's using his legal power, and furthermore, that the removal of Cook will actually make the Fed more credible, is what the White House is saying here. Keep an eye on this market. Again, some just commentary from the White House with regards to the ouster of Fed's Lisa Cook. Back to you.
Yeah, that's a bit of a saga that, I don't know, they're kind of going to do what you want anyways in terms of getting that cut. But it's only one cut, and if you want more, then you need to convince a few members, because it's not exactly like everyone seems like they're on board. Even with Powell, when he changed his tone, there was still a couple of commenters out there saying they weren't there yet.
Right.
We got a Don in the chat here. Don Charifo.
What's up, Don Charifo?
Good morning, all. Good morning to you, too. Hope you're having a good one. Thoughts on long-term on NNE? 5 years out on NNE. Well, it comes down to this. Do you believe in AI?
You believe in life after love?
No, I mean, look, if you believe in AI, do you believe these data center build-outs? Do you believe the Saudis are going to keep on going ham? Do you believe Meta's going to continue to spend? And at the end of the day, it's going to be power hungry. And I don't see how you fulfill that personally without nuclear. Now, the difference is, look, I own GEV, right, my personal account, and I own SMR. I know the difference between the two. Like the smaller names, smaller modular names, those are like, that's where your big alpha is going to be. Those are the kind of things that give you the 5 to 10x, like that kind of a move. And I get it, GV made a big move as well. But I feel like way more confident about holding something like GVernova or like a Vistra, like that type of a thing, because you know they're going to get deals. You know they're going to make money in that revolution, whereas you're trying to hit the home run with NNE. What I think you have going on here, though, is the stocks, it's stabilizing into a nice trend, despite the fact that it's still very volatile. You have to be able to suck it up and understand it's overpriced, and also understand that this could get cut in half. Like if we see, let's just say this is the beginning of the end, and Nvidia is down 1.8% today, and Nvidia goes into a 20% correction. So if that happens, then understand that NNE can be down at like 20, 21 bucks. And I know that with SMR, so I'm always trimming on the way back in, but I'm never getting out of all of it, because I think you can't do this without nuclear and innovation in that space. So I'm a believer, just know what you're getting into. it's really important to know what you're getting into and understanding it. These have to grow into their valuations in a big way. And I say that as someone who owns SMR. They're not really making profits.
Right.
When you have billion-dollar valuations and you're talking about revenue that is, reasonable people's salaries, you kind of know what's going on.
Yeah, that's and you're talking about that as well with a lot of these major names. I cannot believe some of the numbers that these companies are putting out. So I just heard Sharif mention it's funny because my son has been organizing a Wonderland trip. So he's there today and it's supposed to rain and absolutely pour. So they're getting all the rides in now, which is fine. My daughter's up at, shout out to Joe over there, she's up at York Canlan right now on the ice doing like a little, like a preseason, like a training camp. There, you're at Westwood tonight? Yeah, she's at Paramount tonight, which is there in Mississauga. So we're traveling all over the place. And then my wife's on the board, so she has a board meeting tonight down at Ford. So maybe she'll run into some Maple Leafs there tonight. And we'll say what's up to Mitch Marner, who is now at Las Vegas Golden Knight. So she will not be seeing him there. Although she did see Mitch the other day. He was at Canlan, Quench there apparently. So yeah, he was. Yeah. He was here. You can look it up. Okay, so anyways, it doesn't matter. Shout out to the Maple Leafs and everybody who cares about hockey. Okay, so anyways, there we go. So AMD starting to go back up to the upside. I mean, Sharif, last time you sat here, Tesla was $5 in the money. Put an 8 handle on it right now. It's now $8 in the money as we drop it down, and we'll do a little bit of a face slapper right there, man. The trade is here right now there today. The money storm is coming through right now on Tesla. So yeah, man, happy, joy for that one as it continues to print some cash for us right there. So there we go. Okay, that's what that is now. All right, so the market's not even doing anything, and it's Tesla that's cracking these lows. So I don't really know what to think about that, other than it's going a little lower than I'd even thought myself. Otherwise, we would have not covered, right? But there goes Tesla. Huge move back into the downside and continuing going there. So I thought there was a key level. I put my stop at 347, by the way. I know some people in the chat asking me, Sean, what's up? So what's up to you guys as well? When are we going short or when are we flipping long on Tesla? Great question. I don't have the answer right now. I'm going to just continue to watch this thing fall down. And honestly, man, I think the best plan of action right now would just be put in a trailing stop somewhere, because this name could get to this 340 level where there's been some buy side action there. So I think 341, let's close the trade at 341 if it does get down there. I mean, oh boy, what a successful trade that'll been if and when we can get down there. But $9 now in the money on that one, and $1 in the money long on AMD. So, it's not a tale of two markets here. It's just a tale of what stocks you're trading. You're there in the short in CoreWeave and on Intel, and then we've got 1 and 1 right now. So it's so far so good right here. I've been pounding back the water. So shout out to everybody there, Hydration Nation, man. Stay in the trades if you believe in them. We've got a good one here now. 9. I just said to Sharif, it was $8 in Tesla. Now it's 9. So good luck there with your CoreWeave, and let's go back over to Neil and see what he's up to.
Yeah, I mean, you can stay in trades if you believe in them, or you can just simply find trades with levels and ideas and indicators that give you a reason to be in the trade or out of the trade. And one place to do that is with eSignal, and they still give you first month free. So everyone that's watching, you still can grab this platform where you can get easy to use and highly customizable charts with reliable data, the ability to connect to 50+ brokers to trade directly on the platform, level 1, level 2 access, imbalance locator, pretty much everything you need all in one spot, entitlement based, so you can add and subtract what you need, what you don't need, as you find your own way in trading. And I could draw trend lines on this. I don't have to. We're trading on P8. But check out and scan that QR code while you have the ability to get that first month free. Mm-hmm. It's free. So you try it out.
It's free.
You like it, you keep it. You don't like it, you don't pay anything. Yeah, that's easy. So we use it here on the desk, and I'm only showing it to you because someone mentioned this in the chat. All right, first things first, let me get this out of the way. Nvidia broke the trend from VWAP on the higher time frame. You can also kind of see it from this little pop into 78. I should pull this bid back. Because if it pulls back into 78, I didn't chase it on this candle because the second it broke the trend, it just kind of flew up there. But if we get back anywhere near to 178, that was the long that we liked earlier. It didn't bounce there. It bounced off 77. But now that 78's starting to hold and we've broken this trend line, I want to be long into this 178 level second time through. But speaking of trends, I preface that because there was one on CoreWeave that is breaking. So if it breaks, I can short into it and it breaks, but I'm not long until it holds above, and it's not really holding above, and it's still technically trending down. Like, I'll get out on a break of a trend line, but I'm not going to go reversing long until it closes and starts reversing that trend. It's still putting in lower highs. The market's kind of doing the same thing as well. I am going to look for a reload here at Intel. Sorry, I just heard something about an IPO, and I'm like, there's an IPO today?
Is there?
Small, maybe, I think it's a small one.
Ooh.
Yeah, it's
Pass.
anyways. No, I think it's already.
Puffa pass.
This thing can't be this. THH.
Oh, yes, it could be.
32,000 shares. That is infinitesimally small. That's a volume on this thing, up 86%. Yeah, this is a no-fly zone. It literally has traded 32,000 shares before it even went into that halt. So anyways, I don't think that's going to be worth anything. We care about IPOs when they're large. So just going back into trading, if I can see another fail on VWAP here at Intel, this one has been trend down, at least early on, but once it closes above VWAP, it's an out. My stop is already right here above 95 anyway, so want to be able to make sure we lock in. It went to the low of the day, and now trying to break back higher. Let's go to Adair at the desk.
All right, we'll go over here quickly to start with, but this is very, very true. Empowered women can change the world, and you can help make that happen. The Women Boss trains and mentors women and girls across Africa to lead, innovate, and thrive. Since 2018, they've reached over 10,000 women and girls, and your donation today can help launch the great new next entrepreneurs. So we want to thank Women Boss for helping us, obviously promote this great option for all of you to donate there, get some charitable actions going on with Woman Boss. Scan the QR code to, of course, find out a little bit more information on Woman Boss. So, and we have a Woman Boss of our own right now. It's Adara at the desk.
Thank you for that transition there. Let's talk about these sectors because they're pretty mixed once again today. We've seen that a lot this week. Health technology really red here, almost entirely across the board. Consumer durables pretty weak. Consumer services weak as well. Process industries, transportation, communications, industrial services, health services, all red. Now let's talk about some relative strength here. There are a couple names in finance that are to the upside. Retail trade here, very mixed. Amazon's trying to hold it up, but Home Depot, Lowe's, TJX all to the downside. And electronic technology, of course, worth discussing. These two sectors are always right today, anyway, they're as mixed as the rest of the market. Electronic technology trying to be held up by Broadcom. We know they had a positive note from Oppenheimer this morning. Arista Networks and Micron also to the upside, but Nvidia on earnings day one, slightly red. Then we have tech services, Oracle, Google, ServiceNow, CrowdStrike to the upside. CrowdStrike recovering very well from its earnings. Initially, it actually pushed lower, but a lot of these sectors and a lot of the names in electronic tech and tech services a little bit weaker here or more muted. I want to mention here too these IPOs. I did look into this. So today we're supposed to have three. One of them was that THH Try Hard Holdings, 1.525 million shares I'm seeing offered for an offer amount of $8.7 million. GrowHub, $15 million offering, 3.75 million shares. That's TGHL. And then we have ELOG, Eastern International. That's another one that's expected to open today. 1.6 million shares being offered for an offer amount of $6.4 million. Back to you.
Just want to double check.
I'm getting out of Tesla, by the way. I just want to, I'll give it back over to Neil in a second here. Maybe, but yeah, breaking through 346 is going to be sort of the break right now. I do have it right here on my 1 minute chart. I'm trying to look at this as a break. We should have got out right there on, this is a 200 period moving average. Sorry, no, it's not a 200 period. 200 period is the green line. This is a 12 period moving average right there that I do like to look at. So that would be a trend break spot right here. So we're giving it a little bit more room because of the move that it's had today, but a break through 345 definitely signifying that. I'm actually going to add this to my 1 minute chart just to give us a little bit more of an indicator in where to go and when to go there. So on Tesla, so that was something there that I wanted to look at. So 20 more cents higher on that, and we break out of Tesla. But I mean, I was saying it all day today. The number one P&L name for me has been AMD, and I'm really glad that that's back to highs right now. Just not highs of the day, but highs of since we bought it, right back into here, 168.50. So that's going to be a level that we're just taking some more out right now. We didn't get too much out on the way down in once it broke through 167, but we do have a couple outs there as we were wondering about the 200 period moving average, and there it goes right now back there up to the upside. So many other names, man. I mean, I'm sure I just saw in the chat there, Amazon. I love this name of Amazon. Big level here of 231 as well. Wow, a good little look here for whomever that was there in the chat. Shout out to you. There it is. Disneyland royalty. Would be nice getting some royalties from Disneyland, of course. But yeah, nice move up right there for Amazon. So congratulations anybody that's holding that one right now. Amazon, big move. Again, this is why by being diversified, right? Like I've got Amazon, Google is a big part of the portfolio. We recently bought some Apple, which we're loving Apple stock right now. I am anyways, loving this Apple stock. I think September 9th, the date of their awe-inspiring event, whatever they're going to call it. We're going to wait to see. And they're going to announce something big, I'm hoping, for AI. And when they do, then obviously this stock has a 50 handle after this too. So we're going to wait to see what happens there. That's only a week and a bit away. I really think Apple put something up there, and we're going to find out very, very soon what that is. And if it's nothing, then yeah, we fall back down and you get another opportunity to buy this name. So no matter what, I'm liking Apple here. I think it's a good stock to go. And right now, we're just going to sit in this Tesla trade. Seems to be working now, still $8 in the money. And AMD still a buck and change there as well. We've gone over many sectors today. Eli Lilly was red to green, I think. And yeah, just hovering around as well at zeros. And then just a quick check-in on the markets. Again, we had the big winning sector from yesterday was the banks. And today, the bank sector is still looking okay. This is all of finance right now. Nvidia, the only real red name here in technology land. We got Nvidia down there. We've got, what is this? MCHP, no idea what that is. Right there, SMCI, slightly red as well on the downside. But as far as all the big names are concerned, AMD, Cisco, man, all their Dell, Micron up 3%. So,
well, don't forget Dell's after the bell tonight.
Oh, I did forget. So yeah, Dell after the bell. Palantir here in the technology services sector there. Wow, loving Google, man. Loving life with Google right now. Loving life with Oracle. Oracle had a dip by opportunity as well lately on that name. PanW bucking the trend and finally going up. But CrowdStrike also now, Sharif, upside as well. No, that's up 2%. So that's big. Big turnaround there. Salesforce, man, that stock. What's up to Agentforce? Agent Zero there for Salesforce. Their new product. Hopefully that can get going as well. But yeah, so that's just a little bit of a look. And this symbol here loaded up every night at my house. Netflix right there. I'm watching the WWE thing. It's awesome. Called Untold Truths or something. What an amazing show there as being a fan of WWE. Go check that out on Netflix, man. Huge. Mad respect to Triple H. Triple H is one of the best leaders around. So I really,
he did a great job once.
Really love Hunter, man.
Hunter has done a fantastic job.
Paul Levesque.
We're expecting 8% on Dell tonight.
Ooh, under.
8% on Dell. I think that's a little high. I think that's a little high for Dell, but we'll see. After the bell tonight, don't forget about Affirm as well. Some retail names looking pretty good. Just want to quickly jump back over. Intel broke. The sellers didn't come in at VWAP, so there was no point reloading, but then it broke that prior high. It's now consolidating, just kind of going sideways. But Dick's Sporting Goods continues to fall. It's just holding the low. It's down 6%. This is at the 50-period moving average, effectively at $210 for Dick's. And I mean, unfortunately, sometimes this happens. It wasn't that bad. I mean, they're looking at comp sales 2 to 3.5% for the full year. That was above what the analysts wanted. Isn't that what you're looking for? Isn't that what we'd like? I mean, the guidance, fine. They've got some tariff concerns, yes. And regardless of what you think of the Foot Locker deal, certainly by now that should be priced in. Right? They announced that deal a while ago. So it's been a buy the dip on this thing with higher lows all the way through. This is, I think you just give it the 1 or 2 day, I'm not sure you give it the 3-day rule, because I learned with Amazon, if it holds a major moving average, I just bought it the 2nd day if you like it. But I think that's one trade that can be in there on the 50 period. Speaking of Amazon, this is breaking out on the daily chart. I know it's not the high of the day, but this is a trend break. I don't want to jinx it, so we'll knock on a little wood here. But you close above 230, effectively you are breaking this wedge from that. It's not the all-time high, obviously, but from the rejection that we had of the highs back in August. Nice trend breakout happening in Amazon. This is what I mean about the day after earnings. Once it held and showed you a bottom, it's all systems go into the long. And that's been a good one off the 200 period moving average. Don't wait for it to get there on a stock that you like. If you like it and you think the earnings weren't that good, like if you really liked exporting goods, and why would you necessarily wait? If you had to wait on CrowdStrike, then you're not in CrowdStrike off that dip. You thought it was going to go lower. Talked about this in the aftermarket show that, if they're going to do that and hold a low at 390, then why don't you just wait for 390, double bottom, and then get yourself in? There was no double bottom to be found on CrowdStrike. They simply said, hey, beat its name up just because of a little bit of a guide fail, and the market responds by buying it and buying it and buying it. Can't get enough of the cybersecurity names once again. This time there was no dip to be bought, unfortunately. Palo Alto gave you a dip to be bought. Fortinet gave you a dip to be bought. Zscaler gave you a dip to be bought. CrowdStrike said, well, why would we show that pattern a 4th time? You got it 3 times. You should be happy with that.
Yeah, exactly. All right, so we're doing pretty good, man. We're at the highs that we've been at here all day with 1049 right now. We can have a quick little look at the VIX or whatever. We have Adair coming up right now with money talks and some news, and then when we get back, we only have 10 minutes left, and then we'll go over to the big guys over here on the midday show, at which they will be talking about small cap runners. We'll be talking about all the news. They got a nice little news segment that they've done there. They're doing a great job with that one. So get ready to go. Lots of questions coming on the midday as well. Stay in the chat, and it's actually not a different stream anymore, is it? It just kind of goes right over. So right there, 1.4K right there. Maybe it is a new stream. I thought it was the same stream, but
new stream, the midday.
Is it a brand new stream? The midday show, or it's the same one just continues?
No, brand new stream.
Brand new stream. Okay, so what's up? What's up, Fabian? Right there. So stay tuned for that one. As here goes AMD right up to VWAP. Oh. We like a lot right here today. Again, thanks for watching. More likes, more subscribes. Do all of that. Get involved in the chat, man. This is what we're talking about right here. Everybody's in it right now, and what's up to Ronaldo and everybody that's been here all of the time. We are really starting to rip up now with AMD and Nvidia. So it's been a good day to bottom pick those names. All right, Adara over at the desk. It's Money Talks.
US dollar still very much in this range that we've been in for over a week now, basically all of August. Not too much to say about the price action on the dollar, though we are still near this low of year. That low of year is 96.3. We're currently trading just below 98. Now, let's talk about some news. We did get GDP coming out this morning a little bit better than expected, 3.3%. to the upside versus 3% expected. That is quarter over quarter print there. It also is worth noting here that tomorrow we're going to get that PCE price index. That is, we're expecting 2.6% year over year. So we're expecting no change. We're expecting flat here, I guess, year over year. Core PCE year over year, we're expecting a little bit hotter than the previous print. PCE month over month, we're expecting a little bit cooler than the previous print. And then we're expecting flat core PCE month over month. So these numbers are still very mixed when it comes to PCE. We'll have to wait and see how that all settles out. Also worth noting, this Fed saga continues. We know we just had some commentary coming from the White House, with the White House basically saying that Trump was well within his power to remove Lisa Cook from the Fed. And not only that, that her removal will actually give the Fed more credibility. With that in mind, let's take a look here at this, I guess, CME Fed Watch tool. Even after the better than expected GDP print and these jobless claims, no change here to the CME Fed Watch tool. 87.2% are still expecting a 25 basis point cut, 12.8% expecting a hold. The Fed themselves have been very mixed in their commentary. We have some Fed officials that seem very open to a cut. Others are basically saying on no uncertain terms that they want to wait a little bit to see more data. Let's see if the data we get tomorrow with PCE changes any of that. Back to you.
You don't want to be messing around with that.
Thank you so much, Sarah Dardo. We were literally just talking about garage doors because I stepped outside of my door today. As I closed the door and I was about to go to the garage, my power went out.
Yeah, that's.
And because I'm looking inside the house when I close the door, and all of a sudden everything goes dark, and then I turn around, it's like, oh, power's out on the street. Like my neighborhood lost power, like right exactly as I was leaving. So of course I had to manually open my garage door and then message my wife, like, this is what you got to do to get out, assuming the power doesn't come back, which apparently it still hasn't.
What?
And there's no storm or anything.
No.
And it's been like 5 hours. I have no idea what the heck is
What's going on with the city of Brampton over there? Man?
It's a really small section. It's super small. It's probably only like a few hundred customers. So
yeah.
I'm going to throw this one out there because there was some work being done around our. There was some work being done.
Okay, so that's probably.
And like what happened? Remember what happened at our old trading office? Like hours back.
That was in the back. In the back, they were doing.
And we lost connection to everything in the middle of the day. And you turn around and look down, and you could see like it was the cable guys, and they were doing some stuff behind the building.
You don't have solar panels on your roof yet?
Yeah, and we're just like, you've got to be kidding me. But hopefully it gets resolved. Anyways, who knows? But the market is headed higher here. The trend break on CrowdStrike. CoreWeave. Trend break on CoreWeave. It just went to first resistance at 104. I'm trying to get back in if I can get 103s. And I'm thinking high of the day for the reversion on this. But let's be real for a second. On the higher time frame, CoreWeave, everyone was going nuts about these things because look, at the end, when you have the 180 days and the lockups expire, you're always thinking it's going to be like absolute doom and gloom. But this has rebounded pretty nicely. It's also nice symmetry that you go 180 to 90. It gets cut in half and then catches a bid. Throw, in fact, regardless of where Nvidia closes today, it still had a strong quarter in a general sense, right? So like ultimately that's a good sympathy for CoreWeave. I would expect percentage-wise CoreWeave is going to do much better than Nvidia. That's sort of obvious. There's a lot of room for it to go, but remember, this could not break out this 105 before, which was prior resistance in the middle of the week. So I think it gets back up there again, and I'd look for an out and then maybe a 105 break later on in the day. I know a lot of people are looking at this IPO. I'm just throwing it out there. I keep seeing it in the chat. The stock has literally traded 167,000 shares, up 200%. You can't really trade this. I mean, we couldn't. I would be surprised if it's not blocked here at Real Trading. It's so illiquid. And I couldn't find the size, but I almost don't need to know the size. Because I know what David probably mentioned it, but when volume is this low, again, 167,000 shares have traded. It's halted 3 times. If you get caught in this, good luck. Any risk plan that you might have intraday trading a stock like this is blown out the window if you can't get out where you think you're going to get out. And so that's why traders don't like these. Like the reason we'll trade CoreWeave on an IPO or Figma and just take the opening print, or what else is there? What's the other one? Circle.
Oh, yeah.
Is because you know there's a ton of liquidity.
Bullish.
Like there's bullish. There's like millions and millions of shares when you try to get out. If it broke, and they didn't. They all went straight to the upside. But this is a different beast. So just be very careful. This could get cut in half, and there's almost nothing you could do about it. You could have your stops swing and miss as well. Only about 3 minutes to go in here. There is one thing that I feel like I should be getting back into. It's like, you've got to be kidding me. The market goes back to the highs, and Intel actually wicks me out and continues being weak. So here's what I'm thinking. Market high of the Nasdaq, high of the day. ES isn't at the high of the day, it's just the Nasdaq. Nasdaq high of the day. If we have any curl off this high, then I want to short underneath $25. If we break out, then who cares? But if we show any resistance up here, Intel lower highs, 25 even, why not? Could be a red to green story. We'll see if we can't get back into CoreWeave. And now that Nvidia is above the volume weighted average price, it looks pretty good to go as well. So the buyers have certainly come back in a big way on Nvidia. Not green yet, Nvidia, but I think it's going to. At this point, if you didn't vote in the poll, I'm guessing if you're voting later, you're probably now putting in green, is my guess. Because I think it was closer to 50-50. It's up to 59 to 41 saying green to red, and certainly it's almost there on NVDA.
Wow, what a good poll there. Thanks, Andre, for putting that one up. There's been some talk in the chat, and people want to know what's for lunch. So let's go over, figure out what's for lunch right here. There must be a sale on this. I don't.
Again?
It's blackened tilapia
You get that once a week now, actually.
today.
No, but that's exactly what happened. They do that a bunch of it.
So I don't know if Joe's been fishing off the coast of Halifax here or what, but like you've got some blackened tilapia coming through
Get it,
there
Halifax.
right now. Yeah. Get it, Halifax.
That's a lot of tilapia.
Yeah,
We're literally getting it once a week now.
Yeah, there's a lot of tilapia here with roasted vegetables, sweet potatoes, chef's choice salad. So yeah, man, the tilapia continues at Trader TV Live.
Well, sweet potatoes though.
Yeah, I think it's all good, man. Either way, man, it's tilapia mania around here. Yeah, sweet potatoes and chef's choice salad. Again, props up. And once again, unfortunately to everybody around here, that is what's for lunch. I mean, I think it's okay. We'll see. It's more about the seasoning. I just, sometimes it's a little overcooked there, the tilapia.
I tend to agree.
So it gets mushy right there. So we're not loving that. Again,
as much as I do like sweet potatoes, the real question is, can I get to the yams? Because I need to get to them yams.
I thought yams were sweet
The
potatoes.
sweet yams. You got to show me the way.
Yeah.
Because I got bills to pay.
Yeah.
And if you're a fan of Martin, you know what I'm talking about.
No.
And if you know Fetty Wap, you know what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
I got my daughter singing that song. My wife can't stand it. Can I get to the yams? The sweet, sweet yams. Fetty Wap did a cover of the song.
Oh, did he? Okay, I have no idea. Okay.
The joke is
Fetty Wap.
Martin Lawrence. This is how big a deal. Martin Lawrence did it was 5 minutes with Tommy Davidson in one episode. And then it was just a random little speech that he gave, and he talked about them yams. He was talking about the cheddar, the coin, biscuits. He just used yams for some reason. I think he was ad-libbing, to be honest with you. And then Fetty Wap.
Yeah, I don't know.
Some dude turned it into a song, and then Fetty Wap covered it, and it is the catchiest ish you've ever heard. They had the dude from Ronald Isley was on
You're
the remix.
getting passionate here. I like this.
No, dude, Ronald Isley was on it.
People are
They
like,
had,
what's going on here? What was in the coffee?
Yeah. No, they had Ronald Isley was on the remix, but they also had the dude from the Gap Band, Charlie Wilson, who was one of the best. Charlie Wilson is an OG if you're into R&B from the Gap Band.
But not Charlie Murphy, though.
Not Charlie Murphy, but Charlie Wilson. That dude is legit, straight legit. And VWAP is here on Nvidia.
All right.
Bounce.
Get them yams, and make sure you guys do get the midday show here. Sharif, Joe, ready to go. So it's been a good one, man. I hope you guys enjoyed all the talk here today. We just got out some more NVIDIA. You know my stop around 346 there for Tesla. Yeah, two big ones there. NVIDIA, I only traded 3 names today. NVIDIA, AMD, and Tesla. I hope you guys had a successful one. Okay, that's Neil. Good job there today. We're going to go for your walk and enjoy that one. We're going to hit the gym. We're going to go into that sauna. We're going to figure that out as well. Thank you so much. Enjoy your tilapia for everybody that's having that today, as that will be for what's for lunch around here. I'm hoping to get a little tuna on top of the salad. That might be nice. I would go for that as well. Yeah. Okay, that's Neil. I'm Sean. Ciao for now. Midday show.
Now I want tuna. Oh, got a bunch of fills here, Joey Options. Boom! Greetings and salutations, beautiful people. Welcome to the Midday Show. That right